Welcome to Dream Aura Night, everyone. The place where we come together to listen, to unwind, and to drift gently into that sweet, peaceful sleep we all crave. I'm Daniel, your host tonight, and oh, how grateful I am that you've chosen to spend this quiet evening with us. Thank you so much for being here. Picture this for a moment. Can you even imagine it? Waking up without that dreaded alarm blaring in your ear. No phone vibrating like crazy on the nightstand. No distant roar of traffic seeping through the window. No frantic calendar to glance at. No overflowing inbox screaming for attention. No endless meetings looming over your morning coffee. Instead, oh wow, you slowly open your eyes to the gentle, soft grey light of dawn, quietly slipping into your rock shelter. The air feels so cool and crisp against your skin, rich with the comforting scent of lingering wood smoke and fresh, damp earth. Doesn't that sound incredibly peaceful already? Somewhere close by, you catch the soothing low murmur of familiar voices as the rest of your group starts to stir. It's like the whole world is gently coming alive with you. A baby lets out a short, sharp cry and then quiets down almost instantly, comforted by a parent's touch. Someone nearby bursts into a warm, genuine laugh that makes you smile even before you're fully awake. Outside the shelter, birds are joyfully calling back and forth to one another as the light grows stronger. This, my friend, is exactly how humans woke up for hundreds of thousands of years. Isn't it amazing to think about? You are a Homo sapiens, living in a place that we today would label Europe, Africa, or Asia. Doesn't matter which. The feeling is the same. Anatomically, you're completely identical to us modern folks. The exact same brain size, the same sturdy body structure, the very same incredible capacity for language, deep thought, and every raw emotion we feel today. But your world, your everyday reality, is so wildly different from ours that it's almost impossible to truly wrap our heads around it, isn't it? So here's the big question that keeps archaeologists and anthropologists up at night, utterly fascinated. What on earth did you actually do all day long? We've all got this vivid image burned into our brains from movies and documentaries, haven't we? Cavemen, brutish, hairy figures forever fleeing from massive saber-toothed tigers, spending every single waking second in a desperate scramble for food, teetering constantly on the brink of starvation, enduring lives that were nasty, brutish, and heartbreakingly short, nothing but pure, relentless survival. That's the story we've been sold, right? Prehistoric life as one endless nightmare of hardship and terror. How could anyone live like that? Except, hold on, it's almost completely wrong. Can you believe it? The real archaeological evidence paints a radically different, far more beautiful picture. Early humans weren't merely surviving, they were truly living, thriving even. They enjoyed rich, vibrant social lives filled with connection, plenty of leisure time to breathe and relax, stunning art, soul-stirring music, profound spirituality, and yes, even humor that could make the whole group roar with laughter. They gathered around crackling fires to tell captivating stories that wove their world together. They decorated their bodies with pigments and beads that shimmered in the firelight. They carved intricate, delicate figurines and painted absolutely breathtaking images deep on cave walls, works of genius that still leave us speechless today. They cared deeply for their elderly and disabled, offering tenderness and support without question. They buried their dead with solemn ceremony and meaningful grave goods, honoring lives that mattered. They built culture, complex, sophisticated, deeply human culture that we're only just starting to fully appreciate. Isn't that incredible? But hold your horses. Before we dive into the wonders of cave paintings and ritual burials, let's get back to the basics, shall we? What did a typical day really look like for them? How did our ancestors fill their hours when there were no offices to commute to? No bills piling up on the table, no grocery stores just down the street. When survival meant something so profoundly different from our modern hustle. The truth is going to surprise you, maybe even shock you. Early humans probably worked far less than you do right now. Studies of modern hunter-gatherer societies, the closest window we have into those ancient lifestyles, reveal that people typically spent only 4 to 6 hours a day on what we'd call subsistence activities, gathering food, hunting when needed, preparing meals, maintaining tools, and keeping shelters in good shape. That's it, really, just 4 to 6 hours. The rest of the time, pure leisure, socializing with loved ones, playing games that sparked joy, creating beautiful art, sharing stories that lit up the night, or simply hanging out together. Feeling the warmth of community. How does that make you feel? This completely flips everything we've been taught about progress, doesn't it? We picture our ancestors as desperately poor in both time and resources, while we modern folks are supposedly rich and comfortable. But when it comes to free time, true, unhurried leisure, the opposite might actually be true. A prehistoric human likely enjoyed more relaxed hours in a single week than many of us squeeze into an entire month. Wow, just let that sink in for a second. The deeper we dig into prehistoric life, the more complex, nuanced, and downright human the picture becomes. Yes, dangers were real and ever present. Injuries happened frequently and could be serious, terrifyingly so. Infant mortality was heartbreakingly high. Infections that we casually cure with antibiotics today could turn deadly in an instant. Overall life expectancy was lower than ours, though not as grim as you might imagine. If you made it through childhood, such a fragile time, you had a solid chance of reaching your 50s or 60s. Some remarkable individuals lived even longer, sharing decades of wisdom. But within those precious years, people lived full, vibrant lives. They laughed until their sides hurt, loved with fierce passion, mourned losses that cut deep, created beauty from nothing, struggled through hardships together, and celebrated victories with uncontained joy. They weren't cold biological machines fine-tuned only for survival. No way. They were human in every beautiful, messy sense we know today. They shared the exact same fundamental needs we do, food and shelter, of course, but also deep connection with others, real meaning in their days, moments of breathtaking beauty, and the pure delight of play. Don't you feel that pull in your own heart? So come on, let's walk through an ordinary day together. Not one of those rare, dramatic days with a massive mammoth hunt or tense standoff with a rival group, though those thrilling moments happen too. Just a regular, everyday day when an early human woke to the dawn and lived their life in ways that feel both utterly foreign and strangely, comfortingly familiar to our own. Understanding how our ancestors truly spent their time doesn't just illuminate the past, it stirs up some uncomfortable, thought-provoking questions about our present, doesn't it? About how we choose to live now, what we've gained through civilization, what we might have quietly lost along the way, and whether progress always means exactly what we assume it does. Let's begin right at the start, with that magical moment when soft grey light filters gently into the rock shelter and another prehistoric day unfolds before you. You're not jolted awake by any alarm. There are no alarms at all. There's no nagging concept of being late, no rigid schedule to follow, no impatient boss tapping their foot. Instead, Consciousness drifts back to you slowly, naturally, drawn in by the gradual brightening of the sky and the subtle stirring of warm bodies all around you. How luxurious does that sound? The first sensation that hits you is the cold. Not that terrifying, bone-chilling freeze of deep winter, but a crisp morning chill that makes you burrow deeper into your sleeping spot. Reluctant to leave its cozy embrace, you're nestled on a soft bed of dried grasses and plush animal skins, pressed close, really close, to other members of your band. It's not always about intimacy, it's pure survival. Shared body heat is a precious resource far too valuable to waste on sleeping alone. The second thing that washes over you is the smell. Oh, that unmistakable smell. Wood smoke, always wood smoke lingering in the air, though it's faint now as the night fades. The fire that blazed brightly last evening has settled into glowing embers. Mingled with it is the natural scent of unwashed bodies. Not unpleasant at all, just deeply human. The lingering aroma of rendered animal fat from yesterday's hearty meal. The earthy mineral tang of the rock shelter itself. If you're camped near the coast, perhaps there's a hint of salty sea air. If it's spring inland, you might catch the fresh, vibrant green smell of new growth bursting forth. Doesn't it make you feel alive? Someone is already awake, and there is always someone awake, isn't there? Sleep in the Paleolithic wasn't like our solid 8-hour blocks. Humans likely followed biphasic or even polyphasic patterns, sleeping a few hours after dark, waking for a peaceful stretch in the night's middle, then drifting off again. This wasn't insomnia. It was completely normal, natural even. During those quiet, wakeful hours, people might talk softly in whispers, tend the fire's glow, check on sleeping children, perhaps make tender love, or simply lie there lost in thought. This rhythm meant that at any moment through the night, someone was usually alert, ears tuned for sounds that didn't belong, the stealthy footfall of a predator, the sharp crack of a branch under weight, the far-off howl signaling real danger approaching. Safety wasn't something you could ever take for granted. Oh no. It was something carefully maintained, hour by precious hour, through shared vigilance and unbreakable cooperation. The person awake right now is gently feeding the fire. You hear those soft, reassuring sounds of movement, then see the sudden, welcoming brightening as fresh flames catch and dance on new fuel. Fire management, keeping that life-giving warmth alive, was perhaps the single most vital skill your people mastered. Let it die out completely. Disaster. You'd have to restart it either by trekking miles to borrow embers from another group's fire, or grinding through exhausting, time-consuming friction methods that drained your energy. Far better to nurture it carefully, to ensure someone always shouldered the quiet responsibility of feeding it through the long night. Who took that crucial watch varied beautifully. Sometimes it was the elderly, who naturally slept lighter and had already proven their immense worth to the group in countless ways. Why not let their wisdom guard the flames? Sometimes young adults stepped up, especially those without tiny children demanding constant care. Often it simply rotated, a silent, heartfelt understanding that everyone, in their own way, contributed to the survival and strength of the whole band. As the fire steadily builds and warmth spreads, more people begin to stir, children first, always. Kids wake bursting with energy, ready to move and play, just like children do today. Doesn't that timeless truth warm your heart? You hear a small, excited voice, the rustle of little bodies shifting, a mother's gentle murmur soothing her child. Stay close, stay warm, just wait for the sun a little longer. But oh, children are famously terrible at waiting, aren't they? Within minutes, a few of the older ones are up and about, stretching their limbs, drifting toward the growing fire with breaths puffing visibly in the chilly air like tiny clouds of magic. The adults awaken more slowly, luxuriously. There's no rush at all. This is so important to grasp. The whole idea of rushing, hurrying, feeling crushed by time's pressure. These are purely modern inventions that would have baffled our ancestors. Your day flows governed by natural rhythms, by sunlight's arc, by hunger's gentle nudge, by shifting weather, by the turning seasons. The sun is only just beginning to brush the eastern sky with delicate shades of grey and pink. How breathtakingly beautiful. There are hours yet before any particular task demands your attention. Right now, the most essential thing is this graceful transition from deep sleep to wide-eyed wakefulness, done in a way that preserves every precious calorie you'll need for whatever adventures the day might bring. What a wise, gentle way to start the morning. Oh, just imagine it. Can you feel that delicious stretch as people slowly, methodically ease into the morning? Working out all that overnight stiffness from sleeping right on the hard ground. They yawn deeply, scratch lazily, and quietly attend to those basic bodily needs we all have. If you're nestled in a cozy rock shelter or deep cave, there's likely a smartly chosen spot for waste, far enough to keep everything clean and avoid contamination, but close enough to stay safe from whatever lurks outside. And if it's just a temporary camp under the open sky, folks simply stroll a short, discreet distance into the thick surrounding vegetation. How practical and attuned to nature that feels, doesn't it? Then, someone, usually one of the wiser, more experienced souls in the group, someone whose sharp eyes have seen countless dawns, quietly steps outside the sleeping area to scout the surroundings. Not paranoid at all, no, just wisely careful. What might have shifted in the quiet night? Are there fresh tracks snaking near the camp that weren't there yesterday, maybe hinting at visitors, friendly or dangerous? What's the sky saying today? Is that distant cloud formation in the west building into promising rain we desperately need, or just drifting harmlessly through? Has the wind changed direction, carrying new scents on the breeze, scents that whisper vital information about the wider world waking up around you? This early morning check isn't just routine, it's absolutely crucial, a lifeline. Paleolithic humans were masterful readers of nature's subtle signs in ways that leave us modern folks in awe. Can you even fathom that level of connection? They could glance at fluttering birds and instantly know if a stealthy predator was lurking nearby. They predicted weather patterns days ahead by studying swirling clouds, sensing shifts in humidity on their skin, or noticing how leaves on certain plants curled in response to coming changes. And tracks? Oh, they decoded them like a secret language, identifying not just the animal, but how long ago it passed, if it was healthy or limping injured, traveling solo or with a herd. Isn't that skill downright astonishing? All these precious observations get carefully processed in their minds and, most importantly, shared openly with the group. As more folks rouse and gather around the cheerfully growing fire, conversation sparks to life. Quiet murmurs at first, then warming and building like the flames themselves as everyone's awareness comes fully online. Dreams often bubble up in talk. How fascinating is that? The Paleolithic mind likely didn't draw sharp lines between dreamy visions and wide-awake reality. A particularly vivid dream. It could feel like a profound message, a timely warning, even a cherished visit from long-gone ancestors. Definitely worth sharing, pondering deeply together. Plans for the day start to take shape, but oh so loosely, without any rush or rigidity. Food is always the underlying need, right? But the real questions swirl. What kind sounds good, and where might we find it today? Maybe someone recalls spotting berry bushes yesterday that were bursting, almost ripe and begging to be picked. Another might mention exciting signs of a big animal passing through a nearby valley, worth tracking. Or if water's close, a third voice suggests checking those reliable fishing spots. None of this is barked as orders. No way. Nobody bosses like modern leaders do. Instead, ideas flow naturally from open discussion, building consensus, with everyone freely choosing to follow the person whose expertise shines brightest in that moment. How democratic and harmonious that sounds. But all that's coming soon enough. For these precious early moments, the heart of it is simply being together, reuniting in the glow. Your band, this tight-knit extended family, your very unit of survival, is gently reassembling after the night's quiet separation. Everyone survived another stretch of darkness and vulnerability, thank goodness. Everyone's here, safe, accounted for, primed for whatever the new day brings. There's such deep comfort in that simple fact, isn't there? Safety in numbers, absolutely, but something even richer, more profound, a bond that screams why we're so deeply social creatures. We didn't just learn to need each other, we evolved that way, wired for connection at our core. Look, the children are already playing, their boundless energy utterly infectious and lighting up the whole camp. They're not into anything organized or rule-bound, no games with scores or winners, just pure, joyful running, chasing each other in giggles, wrestling in the dust, all that rough and tumble physical fun that builds real strength, sharp coordination, and lifelong resilience. The adults keep a watchful but relaxed eye, half-attentive smiles on their faces, letting the kids be wildly kids, while staying ready to step in if things get too rowdy or a little one strays too far. How heartwarming is that scene? Meanwhile, those everyday practical things get tended to without fuss. Someone's thoughtfully inspecting yesterday's tools. Is that crucial spear point still firmly seated in its shaft, ready for action? Has the sturdy carrying basket picked up any weak spots overnight that beg for quick repair? Do we have plenty of cordage twisted and strong for today's adventures? Or should someone carve out time to twist more from plant fibers? These tasks aren't dreaded chores like we think of them today. No groaning or delaying for fun stuff later. They're woven seamlessly into life, as effortless and essential as drawing breath. Doesn't that make everything feel so flowing and natural? And here's the beauty. None of this unfolds under any crushing time pressure. Bliss. The sun climbs higher, that crisp morning chill softly fading away. You've been awake perhaps an hour already, though who's counting? You have no clocks, no reason to obsess over minutes. What freedom! Your stomach gives a gentle rumble, reminding you it's empty. Others are likely feeling those same pangs, right? Soon enough, thoughts will turn to food. But not quite yet. For now, you're basking in warmth from the fire and each other. You're safe, truly safe. You're encircled by people who know you inside out, who genuinely care about your well-being, because your thriving boosts theirs too. What a profound sense of belonging. This, friends, is truly waking up in the Paleolithic era. No abrupt jolt into harsh awareness. No frantic dash to get ready. Just this beautifully slow, deeply communal shift from rest to vibrant activity, all guided by golden sunlight, the warmth of bodies close, and those timeless ancient rhythms that shaped human days for hundreds of thousands of years. Feel that serenity. It's such a core pattern etched into us that we still echo it biologically today. that irresistible urge to hit snooze one more time, to linger in bed and wake gently, to ease rather than attack the day. And guess what? That's not laziness at all. That's your inner Paleolithic self whispering memories of how mornings once were. Back in an era when time felt endless, and the sun's graceful arc across the sky was the only schedule anyone needed. How poignant is that connection across millennia? Now, let's chat about breakfast. Exciting, right? Except, hold on, your ancestors didn't really do breakfast like we picture it. No stumbling sleepy-eyed to a kitchen for quick cereal or coffee. They didn't stick to fixed meal times at all, honestly. They simply ate whenever food was there, whenever hunger called loudly, whenever the moment felt right. It might seem wildly chaotic to us, but no, it wasn't. It was brilliantly, perfectly suited to their world, intuitive and flexible. Picture yourself there, stirring in that rock shelter as dawn's first light dances through the entrance. Your stomach lets out an insistent growl. You're hungry, so naturally you eat. Simple, direct, satisfying. What fills your belly depends completely on what's at hand that morning. Variety is the spice after all. Perhaps there's tasty leftover meat from when hunters triumphantly brought down a red deer a couple days back. It's been hanging smartly in the shelter's cool shadows, shielded from harsh sun, wrapped snug in the deer's own hide for protection. The chilly air preserved it beautifully, though now it's picking up that rich, slightly gamey aroma, signaling it's time to savor and finish it today. You tear off a hearty strip and chew deliberately, slowly. It's tough, demanding real work from your jaws. But oh, that burst of protein and fat is exactly the fuel your body craves after a long night's rest. Your teeth, strong as can be, jaw muscles powerfully built for this. Yet those very teeth reveal even more secrets under modern microscopes. Tiny plant residues clinging on, starch grains from dug roots and tubers, phytoliths from crunchy seeds and nuts. See? Your ancestors weren't meat-only carnivores. They devoured everything nature offered. Right beside the meat sits a simple wooden bowl, really just clever bark folded and sealed tight with sticky pine resin, brimming with hazelnuts gathered fresh days ago. You pop a few, cracking them expertly between back molars with a skill handed down generation to generation. Little ones watch wide-eyed from babyhood, absorbing the precise angle, the perfect pressure to split shell clean without mashing the nut inside. Pure tradition in action. Nearby, a soft leather pouch holds dried berries, sweet blackberries plucked in late summer's bounty and sun-dried to perfection. They're shriveled now, but packed with intense, concentrated sweetness. You grab a generous handful, and that rush of sugar surges through you instantly, sparking quick, vibrant energy. Yum. But the true morning gem? That woven basket of roots cozied near the fire. Someone, likely one of the wise older women, blessed with decades of deep plant lore, dug these treasures yesterday along the riverbank. Cattail roots, starchy and nourishing, but raw, basically inedible, tough as nails. So they've been positioned thoughtfully near the flames, not directly in, but close enough for gentle heat to work its magic overnight, slowly softening tough fibers, transforming complex starches into sweet, digestible goodness. This is cooking in its purest, ancient form, not our fussy recipes with exact temps and buzzing timers, just profound, accumulated wisdom over thousands of generations on fire's transformative power. Those roots basked all night in the fire's lingering warmth, that faithful blaze never fully extinguished. Come morning, they're tender, sweetly enjoyable. You reach in carefully, watch those fingers. It's hot. Pull one out, peel the outer skin and sink your teeth in. Not gourmet by today's picky standards maybe, but so satisfyingly filling. And crucially, safe. Raw versions pack toxins that'd twist your gut in knots. Cooked, perfectly wholesome. This miraculous change, fire turning no-way plants into vital food, could be humanity's greatest early tech breakthrough ever. It literally doubled, even tripled, the edible plant varieties available, expanding menus, boosting survival. And the proof of this amazing dietary range, it pours in from everywhere. Fossilized feces, yes, ancient poop, unearthed at sites across Europe and Africa. Scientists peer through microscopes and gasp. Astonishing mixes of plant bits, seeds from dozens of species, flower pollen, tiny leaf fragments, root pieces, bark shreds. Some even reveal insects, crunchy grasshoppers, beetle larvae, plump termites. Gross to our Western taste today, maybe, but they're protein and fat powerhouses. Many modern hunter-gatherer groups treat insects as true delicacies. And why wouldn't your ancestors have savored them just the same? What a bold, resourceful way to eat. Oh, just think about this. Dental calculus. That hardened plaque stubbornly building up on teeth over a lifetime spills an equally fascinating tale. When archaeologists carefully scrape it from ancient Paleolithic skulls and peer at it under powerful microscopes, what do they discover? A treasure trove of plant starches spanning the entire spectrum. Wild grains, hearty root vegetables, crunchy nuts, juicy berries, even tough plant fibers likely chewed to draw out precious moisture or soften them for clever uses. Isn't it mind-blowing how something so everyday reveals such profound secrets about daily life? What beautifully emerges from all this evidence is a vivid picture of incredible dietary flexibility. Your ancestors were masters of adaptation. They weren't narrowly specialized at all, no way. They were brilliant opportunists, ready and able to exploit virtually any food source their environment generously offered. Can you picture the variety? Coastal groups feasted on fresh fish, crunchy shellfish, tangy seaweed, seabirds, and even sea mammals, all wonderfully supplemented by whatever resilient plants thrived near the shore. Inland forest dwellers savored deer, wild boar, abundant nuts, sweet berries, nourishing roots, and earthy mushrooms. Groups camped near rivers enjoyed fish, graceful waterfowl, lush aquatic plants, and the land animals drawn to drink there. How diverse and attuned to their worlds they were. This remarkable flexibility wasn't just nice, it was absolutely crucial for survival, a true lifesaver. Environments shift unpredictably, seasons come and go, animal migrations follow their own mysterious patterns. Nothing stays the same forever, right? A group locked into only one or two food types. They'd face heartbreaking starvation when those ran scarce. But a group versatile enough to enjoy 50 different things. They'd always find something to sustain them, resilient and resourceful. Doesn't that fill you with admiration? As you're savoring your morning meal, everyone else joins in the simple joy, others munching contentedly around you. Watch that young mother, so patient and loving, sharing nuts with her curious toddler, gently showing him how to crack them just right, how to carefully pick out the tender meat without those pesky shell fragments getting in the way. He's not quite mastered it yet. Those tiny hands still lack the full strength and coordination. But oh, he's learning eagerly. And in just a few short years, he'll be the one proudly teaching his own younger siblings. How heartwarming is that passing of knowledge? Over there, the wise old woman tackles something more intricate and clever. She's taken leftover meat and pounds it steadily between two smooth stones, skillfully mixing in rich rendered fat and tangy dried berries. She's crafting pemmican, though she wouldn't name it that, of course. To her, it's simply reliable food that endures, concentrated, powerhouse nutrition perfect for carrying on long journeys or stashing away for those inevitable lean times ahead. This isn't casual, it's deep, technical knowledge, precise as can be. The ratio of meat to fat to berries must be spot on, or it spoils and wastes precious resources. The pounding needs to be thorough, binding everything perfectly together. She learned this sacred skill from her own mother, who inherited it from hers. A beautiful, unbroken chain of wisdom, stretching back thousands upon thousands of generations. Isn't that legacy absolutely awe-inspiring? Nobody, ever, eats truly alone. That's rare and almost unthinkable. Food is profoundly social, generously shared, distributed by those complex, unspoken rules everyone instinctively grasps. The skilled hunter who brought down yesterday's kill. He's not claiming more than his fair share. Nope. In fact, he might even take less, because that's the heartfelt system. Bring home an animal, share abundantly with the whole group, and trust that when someone else succeeds, they'll share right back with you. This is pure insurance, smart risk pooling, the very social glue binding everyone tightly together through thick and thin. How wise and communal. Little children dart back and forth like joyful sparks, playfully stealing bites from various adults, sometimes swatted away with gentle laughter, other times having tasty morsels pressed eagerly into their hands. Nobody's ever stingy with the kids, never. There's always enough for them, or if supplies run tight, the adults quietly eat less to ensure the young ones stay strong and fed. What selfless love. The meal itself isn't some stiff, formal ceremony. No elaborate rituals here. People eat casually, standing tall, sitting comfortably, wandering a bit, fiddling with tools, chatting animatedly, bursting into laughter. Yet it fulfills such vital social roles anyway. Everyone gathered close, strengthening those unbreakable bonds, swapping valuable information, casually plotting the day ahead. Who's heading out to gather plants today? Who's pursuing a hunt? Who's staying behind to expertly work that fresh deer hide? These choices bubble up organically, flowing from easy consensus rather than top-down commands. How fluid and harmonious. Someone excitedly mentions those hazelnut trees in the northern grove. They should be laden and producing beautifully right now. Several women and eager older children immediately volunteer to investigate. Yes. Another points out fresh deer tracks spotted near the river yesterday. The hunters catch each other's eyes, nod knowingly, already mentally gearing up for a potential pursuit. The anticipation builds. Even as talk flows, food preparation never pauses. Hands stay productively busy, a soothing rhythm. Someone grinds seeds methodically between stones for later use. Another thoughtfully sorts dried herbs, wisely discarding any hint of mold. A teenager, eyes focused, learns to wield a razor-sharp flint flake, carefully slicing thin meat strips for sun-drying, preserving for tomorrow. These essential skills are lifeblood, passed purely through keen observation and hands-on practice. No scribbled recipes, no classroom lectures. Children watch intently from early days, mimic boldly, get gentle corrections, persist and improve. By full adulthood, they command encyclopedic mastery over food, which plants are safe and edible when, how to spot them across shifting seasons, prime locations to forage, precise processing methods, smart storage techniques. Astonishing depth. This vast knowledge base is nothing short of staggering, truly. Ethnographic studies of today's hunter-gatherers reveal they often hold detailed intel on 200 to 300 plant species, edible parts, necessary processing, medicinal powers, deadly toxins, bonus uses like twisting cordage or brewing arrow-tip poisons. Your ancestors, they almost certainly matched or exceeded that, had to, for survival's sake. How profoundly intelligent and connected they were to their world. As the morning meal gently winds down, someone tosses a few more sticks onto the fire, keeping it alive and welcoming. Those embers never fully die if tended well. Fire's far too precious, restarting from scratch so gruelingly hard. Far wiser to nurture it constantly, feeding regularly, shielding from rain or wind. Responsibility rotates warmly among individuals. Everyone pitches in. The meal wasn't fancy or elaborate, no need, but it was perfectly adequate, nourishing body and spirit. Everyone's eaten something satisfying. Bellies feel reasonably full, energy humming for the day's adventures. And honestly, that's all that truly matters, sustenance with gratitude. Your ancestors weren't chasing gourmet delights, but oh, they grasped nutrition on a deep, instinctive level that shames our modern confusion. They knew variety was key, different foods offering unique gifts, balance over days and weeks trumping any single perfect plate. They ate to live, yes, but they also lived richly to eat. Food brought real pleasure, even in simplicity. That triumphant satisfaction of cracking a nut flawlessly, the burst of ripe berries' sweetness, the decadent richness of bone marrow sizzling over flames. These weren't mere calories fueling bodies. They were joyful experiences, cherished shared moments forging deeper connections to the generous landscape and, most beautifully, to each other. Feel that warmth. And now, yes, with morning light fully embracing the camp and stomachs contentedly filled, it's time to dive in. Real work beckons. The day's true activities are sparking to life. Here's the eye-opening secret nobody shouts about prehistoric life. The hunt steals all the spotlight. The epic clashes with towering mammoths, perfectly coordinated deer takedowns, heart-pounding standoffs with fierce predators. That's the drama captivating our imaginations, filling museums and gripping documentaries. But here's the grounded truth, obvious to anyone living it back then. Hunting was the thrilling exception. Gathering, that was the steady, essential rule. On any ordinary day, 60 to 80% of calories flowed from plants, roots, tubers, nuts, seeds, berries, leaves, flowers, nature's reliable bounty. Percentages shifted with seasons and spots. Coastal folks boosted protein via shellfish. Northern communities leaned heavier on meat through harsh winters. But for most humans, most times, plants sustained life, quietly, consistently. Not because ancestors craved veggies above all. No, it boiled down to smart evolutionary math. One triumphant hunt could feast the band for days. Glorious. But hunts flopped far more often than succeeded. Animals, lightning fast, wildly unpredictable, downright dangerous, demanding hours of tracking, flawless teamwork, heaps of luck. Plants, bless them, stay rooted. Right where you remembered from last season, sprouting in comforting, predictable patterns anyone knowledgeable could decode. So while hunters chased potential glory, the band's majority poured energy into survival's true backbone, traversing landscapes with trained, perceptive eyes, spotting signs invisible to novices, gathering foods reliably filling tonight's joyful meal. For decades, anthropologists spun a tidy tale of prehistoric gender roles. Men hunted boldly, women gathered dutifully, framed as natural, inevitable, perhaps biologically wired. But oh, the evidence paints a far richer, more nuanced story, excitingly complicated. Yes, in many societies, women and older children handled most gathering while men focused on hunting. But not everywhere, not even mostly perhaps. Dig sites reveal women buried alongside hunting weapons. Powerful. Isotope bone analysis shows some women enjoyed meat-heavy diets, rivaling any male hunters. Certain groups embraced communal hunts with everyone joining in. Others boasted specialized gatherers of both sexes, dedicating lives to mastering plant lore. The real truth shines pragmatic and flexible. Prehistoric societies organized labor practically, fitting unique circumstances. In some, pregnant or nursing women leaned toward gathering, perfectly compatible with toting infants close. In others, post-reproductive women emerged as invaluable treasures, hunting freely without childbearing limits, empowered and vital. How adaptive and sensible, celebrating strengths where they bloomed. Oh, here's the heart of it. Never, ever imagine gathering as somehow less vital or prestigious than the thrill of hunting. No way. It demanded true specialist knowledge, honed over years of dedicated training, and, most crucially, it reliably kept the entire band alive day after day. How empowering and essential that feels, doesn't it? So come on, picture yourself right there on that incredible gathering expedition. Can you feel the excitement building? It's mid-morning now, with the sun shining warmly overhead for a few hours already, gently burning off that lingering morning mist like a soft veil lifting from the world. You're heading out with 3 beloved companions, your mother's wise sister, your aunt, who knows every prime plant location better than anyone else in the whole band, her expertise a treasure, a curious younger cousin eagerly soaking up the roots and sacred knowledge, and your own precious child, snugly strapped to your back in a cozy sling crafted from carefully softened deer hide that hugs just right. What a beautiful family adventure. You're not aimlessly wandering at all, no random strolls here. You're purposefully following a rich mental map meticulously built over years of keen observation and shared wisdom. That lush oak grove about 3 miles north. It should be bursting with acorns ready for joyful collection right now. Perfect timing. The patch of wild onions near the sparkling creek might be slipping past their prime. But just beyond lies a promising stand of cattails begging for those starchy roots to be unearthed. And if luck smiles on you, maybe you'll stumble upon a golden beehive dripping with sweet honey, pure delight. Or if you're really blessed, some fresh bird eggs tucked away safely. How thrilling those possibilities feel. The walk itself, far from a leisurely jaunt, it's a true endeavor. You're covering 5 to 10 miles today, traversing terrain that would test even seasoned modern hikers. Steep rocky hillsides to navigate, dense thickets of underbrush to push through, chilly streams to ford carefully, challenging slopes to climb with steady breath. And you're managing all this while carrying your little one close, plus the essential tools of your vital trade. A trusty digging stick, fire-hardened and smoothed glossy from countless uses. Several beautifully woven baskets from flexible plant fibers, cleverly nested together for efficiency. A soft leather bag ready for those delightful small finds. Perhaps even a sharp stone knife securely tucked into a belt, twisted strong from plant fibers. What strength and grace that demands. But here's the magic that sets gathering apart from the high-drama rush of hunting. It's not fueled by pounding adrenaline or heart-racing excitement. No, it's all about profound, focused attention. Quiet, deep, and utterly absorbing. You're reading the vast landscape like an open, living book, spotting subtle details that would completely escape untrained outsiders. How extraordinary. That faint discoloration in the soil, whispering of wild tubers hiding below. You see it clearly. The intriguing pattern of animal tracks hinting at a fruitful tree nearby laden with goodies. Noted. The precise angle of warm sunlight revealing which sheltered hillside boasts perfectly ripe berries. Crystal clear guidance. Suddenly, your aunt pauses at what seems like the most ordinary, unremarkable patch of ground. Nothing special to a stranger's eye. But she spots something you're still mastering. A specific type of grass that reliably signals edible roots lurking beneath. With practiced ease, she thrusts her digging stick into the rich earth, probing gently, thoughtfully. Just 3 inches down, clang, she hits something promising and solid. She skillfully works the stick around it, loosening the soil with care, then plunges her hands in and triumphantly pulls up a tuber the generous size of your fist. Success. It's pale and knobbly, looking downright unappetizing at first glance. Ha! But from cherished experience, you know the magic. Roasted slowly in tonight's glowing coals, it'll transform into something sweetly delicious and wonderfully filling. She hands it to you with a knowing smile. You tuck it safely into your basket. She digs again. Another, and yet another. This spot is abundantly rich. Jackpot. In mere 10 minutes, you've gathered enough hearty tubers to nourish everyone tonight, perhaps even with extras for tomorrow's meals. How satisfying and rewarding. But the day presses on. You're far from finished. Your aunt knows these plants intimately, by heart and soul. Even more beautifully, she knows their vivid stories, the key to etching knowledge forever. Stories make it unforgettable. She turns to your wide-eyed young cousin and shares a gripping tale. The time her own grandmother fell terribly ill from mistaking a deadly root that looked almost identical to this safe one, differing only in subtle leaves. With gentle fingers, she points out the life-saving distinction. 3 delicate veins in the leaf here, versus 5 on the poison twin. That tiny detail? It could mean life or swift death, breathing shutting down in agonizing hours. Chills, right? This isn't dry education like cramped classrooms we know. No, it's raw survival wisdom, vividly passed through captivating stories, hands-on demonstrations with real plants, reinforced year after year through sharp observation. Powerful and alive. Your cousin absorbs hundreds of these vital lessons over time. By the age you are now, she'll command knowledge of perhaps 300 diverse plant species, by sight, by shifting seasons, by exact locations. She'll discern edible from medicinal from deadly killers. She'll master perfect harvest timing, preparation secrets, and myriad uses. Astonishing mastery. Modern botanists toil years in universities just to identify plants. Impressive, sure. But your ancestors, they learned fiercely by raw necessity, starting in tender early childhood, because one fatal mistake could end everything. How urgent and profound. The group presses onward, invigorated. You wade boldly through a shallow, refreshing stream, the icy water shocking delightfully against your legs, waking every sense. On the far bank, your aunt's face lights up with a genuine smile. Mushrooms sprouting invitingly on a fallen log, nature's hidden gift. She approaches with respectful caution, examining from every angle, even leaning in to smell deeply. Mushrooms play tricky games. Some nourish and delight the palate, others unleash violent illness. A deadly few steal life away. She selects just 3, leaving the rest untouched. She's confidently certain about these, but wisdom demands caution always. Smart and safe. Hours melt away in this soothing, purposeful rhythm, steady walking, vigilant observing, joyful collecting, pure flow. The baby on your back drifts into peaceful sleep, gently lulled by your rhythmic motion. Sweet innocence. Your baskets grow pleasingly heavier with treasures, clusters of wild grapes still tart but perfectly edible, nutritious seeds from swaying grasses destined for grinding into flour back at camp, special bark from one particular tree that, when patiently boiled, brews a soothing tea easing fevers. Your aunt harvests this bark with tender care, never overtaking to harm the tree. She learned long ago to think ahead for next season's needs, next year's growth, the thriving generations yet to come. This is true sustainable harvesting at its wisest. Though your ancestors lacked fancy words for it, they instinctively knew. Strip a plant bare greedily, and it vanishes when desperately needed later. Groups embracing this foresight survived and flourished. Those who didn't faced cruel starvation as resources vanished. Profound lesson. By early afternoon, you're miles distant from camp. Adventure achieved. Legs weary but proud, shoulders aching from bountiful baskets' welcome weight. Yet there's something deeply meditative, almost spiritual, in this labor. No frantic rush, no crushing pressure, just steady, harmonious rhythm of purposeful steps and gathering, basking in sun's gentle warmth, surrounded by birds joyfully calling overhead in the leafy canopy. Blissful presence. You're utterly immersed in the moment, a rare gift modern lives seldom taste. Every sense alive and engaged. Ears tuned for subtle animal rustles nearby. Eyes catching water's distant shimmer, signaling a stream ahead. Nose alert for faint smoke, hinting another friendly band camp's close. Your younger cousin pipes up curiously. She's spotted a vibrant plant bursting with bright red berries and wonders eagerly. Safe to eat. Your aunt doesn't brush off with a quick yes or no. She strolls over thoughtfully, examines closely, then weaves another enchanting story. How her own mother discovered these very berries in a brutal, harsh winter, when food dwindled dangerously low. How they miraculously sustained the whole band through 3 relentless blizzard days. But caution, birds devour them raw safely, yet humans must cook thoroughly first, or brutal stomach cramps strike. Wisdom wrapped in wonder, knowledge flows endlessly onward. Every single plant a living lesson, every spot a cherished memory. This vast landscape isn't mere territory to your people. It's a boundless library. Every towering tree, every weathered stone, every babbling stream holds layers of information lovingly accumulated across countless generations. Timeless treasure. Your ancestors committed nothing to paper, yet ignorant. Far from it, they were living repositories of extraordinarily sophisticated ecological knowledge, rivaling the finest modern scientists' databases. How brilliantly attuned and wise. Finally, as late afternoon golden light bathes everything, the group turns homeward toward camp. Baskets brim full and heavy with nourishing food to feast the entire band tonight. Victory. You've trekked perhaps 8 rugged miles total. Feet throb a bit, back aches honestly. The baby stirs awake, fussing hungrily for feeding. Real effort shows, yet deep satisfaction floods you. This is good, meaningful work. Vital work, the kind quietly keeping everyone alive and thriving. Back at camp, no grand fanfare awaits, no roaring celebrations like for a triumphant hunt. But everyone deeply knows the truth. Hunters might return empty-handed tonight. They frequently do. Despite best efforts, but you delivered. Reliable, nutrient-rich, life-sustaining food, steady and sure. And tomorrow, you'll venture out once more, hearts full. This enduring rhythm powered humanity's survival for hundreds of thousands of years. Not flashy, dramatic highs, but steady, patient, profoundly knowledgeable gathering work. Beautiful foundation. Your ancestors deciphered the landscape in ways we've nearly lost entirely, paying rapt attention to nature with an intensity most modern folks rarely touch. And they did it not for leisure or spiritual hobby, no, as the very core work of daily survival, essential and revered. Your ancestor likely wasn't hunting today or yesterday, perhaps not even this whole week. Steady gathering carried the day. We cling to this glamorous image of prehistoric life as non-stop brutal struggle. Early humans rising at dawn to immediately charge after massive mammoths or grapple saber-toothed cats in deadly duels. Hollywood adores this epic narrative, man versus ferocious beast, constant life or death clashes for mere survival. But the reality, far more nuanced, interesting, and brilliantly strategic. Hunting for early humans wasn't relentless daily grind. No, it was occasional, high-stakes endeavor demanding immense careful planning, endless patience, and, truth be told, often ending in quiet failure despite everything. Oh, just imagine the thrill. A successful hunt might grace your band every few days if fortune smiles brightly, or stretch out to every few weeks when luck feels scarce. But the rest of the time, you're wisely preparing, meticulously planning, tirelessly tracking, and most vitally, leaning on that steady gathering to keep hunger at bay and stomachs contentedly full. How grounded and realistic that rhythm feels. Yet when the hunt finally ignites, wow, it's nothing short of extraordinary. A pulse-racing pinnacle. Let us dive right in and say today is one of those electrifying days. Can you feel the anticipation building? The signs have been whispering promises for a while now, growing stronger. Sharp-eyed scouts spotted fresh, exciting tracks from a small herd of graceful antelope winding through a nearby valley just 5 miles from camp. Prime opportunity. The animals head steadily toward a seasonal water source, following those ancient, familiar patterns your people have observed and respected for generations. The timing, absolutely perfect. The weather stretches clear and cooperative overhead, and most crucially, heart-pounding luck. Several seasoned, experienced hunters stand available, strong and healthy enough to seize this moment. Yes, this is precisely how it begins. Not with wild, sudden impulse or reckless charge, no, but with calm, careful deliberation that speaks of deep wisdom. The group gathers in the crisp, early morning light. 6 skilled men and 2 fierce women, everyone proven trackers and masterful hunters through trials and triumphs. They huddle close, discussing the intricate plan with a seamless blend of spoken language, rich and expressive, and precise hand signals refined beautifully over thousands of years. Who claims which strategic position, where the wary animals are most likely to flee? What solid fallback options exist if winds shift or things veer unexpected? How coordinated and thoughtful they shoulder their spears, each a true masterpiece of prehistoric engineering that demanded days of patient crafting. The sturdy wooden shaft meticulously straightened over flickering fire and seasoned for months to defy warping. The razor-sharp stone point, expertly napped from premium flint, traded diligently from a distant quarry 200 miles away. Such far-reaching connections. Then hafted securely with sticky plant resin and tough sinew, processed and dried to forge a bond stronger than many modern glues we boast today. Ingenious. Some hunters proudly carry atlatls too, those clever spear throwers harnessing leverage to triple velocity and soaring distance. This brilliant technology feels relatively new and revolutionary, transforming hunts dramatically, game-changing innovation. The group sets out purposefully, and right away, you notice the disciplined calm. They're not rushing wildly. No frantic, breathless chase or dramatic sprint across vast savanna. No Hollywood frenzy here. Instead, they move at a steady, sustainable pace, strong and enduring, while constantly reading the landscape with hawk-like focus. Brilliant strategy. This is where hunting elevates to pure science. Fascinating, isn't it? One tracker drops to a knee beside a subtle depression in sandy soil. He studies it intently for long, silent moments, absorbing every clue, then signals crisply to the others. The track gleams fresh, likely from this very morning. Its depth and crisp clarity reveal the animal strolled calmly. Not alarmed at all. Spacing between prints, it points to a young adult, vibrant and healthy, good hearty size, yet not overwhelmingly large to overwhelm them. All this profound insight from a single hoof print. Mind-blowing mastery. This isn't mystical magic, far from it. It's razor-sharp pattern recognition, forged over a lifetime of immersive observation. Your people mastered tracking from playful childhood onward, learning to read the landscape fluidly like an open book. Every snapped twig, every shifted pebble, every faint scratch on rock face narrates part of the unfolding story. Where animals ventured, their speed, how recently they passed, calm grazing or alarmed flight. How intimately connected. The group trails steadily for hours. No impatient rushing, just purposeful. Steady walking with periodic pauses to recheck signs and fine-tune strategy. This patient phase, it's the unsung heart of hunting, rarely glamorized in tales. That long, enduring stalking, demanding more mental fortitude than raw physical power. True grit. Around blazing midday, they finally spot the herd. 8 sleek antelope grazing peacefully in a shallow valley beside a shimmering waterhole. There they are. Now arrives the nail-biting critical juncture. Ambush attempt, creeping close for spear range, or unleash the uniquely human masterpiece technique. They choose persistence hunting, humanity's terrifying edge. Here's what made humans such formidable predators. Chilling, right? We can't outsprint nearly any beast. A healthy antelope blasts 50 miles per hour. Humans peak around 15. But we possess something no other creature matches. Endurance running for hours under scorching midday heat without fatal overheating, thanks to nearly hairless bodies and miraculous sweating capacity. Fur-covered animals. Their inefficient cooling forces panicked rests after bursts, or they literally cook internally. Overwhelmed, the hunters fan out strategically and jog toward the herd. Not all-out sprint, just steady, relentless trot. Antelope spot them instantly and explode away, vanishing over a ridge in heartbeats. But humans persist undeterred. They track relentlessly at that sustainable pace, decoding signs, maintaining inexorable pressure, unyielding. 1 hour ticks by, then 2. The sun beats brutally, the kind dropping lesser predators dead. Yet humans endure triumphantly. Bodies engineered for this, sweating rivers. Each evaporating drop whisking away deadly heat buildup, keeping muscles firing strong. They relocate the herd, antelope bolt again, but stress cracks show. Tongues lolling, heavy panting. They can't cool swiftly enough. Chase grinds on. 3 hours, 4 grueling ones. Trackers rotate leads wisely. Individuals drop back briefly to recover, while fresh ones press forward. This is cooperative hunting shining at its peak. No lone hero could sustain alone. But coordinated group, communicating fluidly, sharing burdens, they achieve the seemingly impossible. Teamwork makes miracles. Finally, after nearly 5 exhausting hours, they close on a lone antelope separated, vulnerable. It stumbles desperately. Cooling failed, muscles crumbling from heat and fatigue overload. One hunter edges close enough. Spear launches true, piercing behind shoulder, and moments later, it's done. Victory. Hunters circle the fallen animal, breaths heavy, not wild cheering yet. First, practical reverence. One makes quick, precise cut and offers quiet prayer or solemn acknowledgement. Profound respect. Evidence across prehistoric sites hints early humans honored kills ritually. Gratitude for life given, thanks to guiding spirits or forces believed overseeing hunts. Then masterful butchering unfolds, sophisticated as surgery. These hunters know anatomy intimately, surpassing many modern surgeons. Every muscle, organ, valuable part. They work swiftly, efficiently, no waste. Hide peels in one pristine piece. Treasure for warm clothing, sturdy shelter. Prime meat cut separated. Some for immediate savoring, most for hauling home. Quick spoiling organs prepped on site. Nothing discarded, even bones later cracked for rich, nutrient-packed marrow, nature's superfood. But challenge looms. 5 miles back, hundreds of pounds meat and materials produced. Impossible single-trip carry. Unattended. Lions, hyenas, vultures swarm within hours. Gone. Here social brilliance shines crucial. 2 swift runners dash campward to summon help. Others guard kill, sparking protective fire against scavengers, starting smoke preservation on portions. Hours later, reinforcements arrive joyfully. Elders sharing wisdom, capable children eager to haul, nursing mothers, infants safely left with kin. Whole community unites in harvest. Trek home transforms celebration, successful hunts rare enough for true communal events. Tonight, abundant feasting, vivid stories crackling around fire, likely rhythmic dancing, soulful music. Hunters recount epic chase detail by detail, reliving tension, triumph, and through telling, it weaves into collective memory. Vital lesson for youth on strategy, unyielding persistence, unbreakable cooperation. Timeless, but clarity essential. This glory doesn't strike daily or weekly. Between triumphs, dozens failed attempts, tracks fizzling nowhere, animals outsmarting speed alertness, injuries halting pursuit, hunts flopping despite flawless effort. This truth unlocks prehistoric life understanding. Hunting mattered immensely. Delivering concentrated protein fat gathering couldn't rival. Forging unbreakable social bonds in cooperation. Sharpening intelligence, communication through tracking, crafting, planning. Yet never primary calorie source for most groups. That crown belonged gathering. Daily reliable, majority nutrition. Without limb-risking danger, steady heartbeat of survival. Oh, just feel the thrill. Hunting. Was that rare, heart-pounding glory, a true high-stakes gamble that could pay off in the most spectacular ways imaginable. Feasts, stories, and pride swelling the whole band. How exhilarating those victories must have been. But here's the profound secret to early humans' incredible success. Can you grasp how brilliant this was? It wasn't about being the absolute best hunters dominating every beast. No. They were simply good enough at hunting while excelling beautifully at everything else. Masterful gathering, ingenious tool-making, deep social cooperation, and swift adapting to new environments shifting around them. They were versatile generalists, ready to unleash specialist skills precisely when needed. True survivors. Doesn't that adaptability inspire you? And that successful hunt? It wove just one vibrant thread into the rich, complex tapestry of prehistoric survival. Essential, yet part of a greater whole. Beautiful balance. Tomorrow, win or lose today's chase, life flows on steadily. Roots begging to be dug from fertile earth, nuts waiting to be gathered in abundance, tools needing loving repair, eager children ready for patient teaching, and that endless, rewarding work of staying alive in a world so breathtakingly beautiful, generously abundant, and occasionally kind enough to reward the clever, the unyieldingly persistent, and the warmly cooperative. What resilience! By midday, the camp pulses alive with a sound echoing through history, instantly familiar to any dedicated craftsperson across time. That rhythmic tap-tap-taps of stone striking stone, not loud or aggressive, no, just persistent and deeply purposeful. The magical sound of creation, someone bringing something brand new into existence from raw material. How satisfying. Your aunt sits comfortably on a flat rock beside the welcoming central fire, hammerstone gripped firmly in one hand, a promising piece of flint in the other. Every few seconds, crack, she strikes at exactly the right angle, sending a small, perfect flake spinning gracefully into the dust. Around her feet scatters rejected pieces and brave failed attempts, the very archaeological debris that endures 40,000 years later, whispering stories to future generations who've learned to read stone. Timeless legacy. This crafting, far from occasional hobby, it's vital daily maintenance, as essential as eating hearty meals or drifting into restorative sleep. Tools wear down relentlessly. That spear point from yesterday's use might bear a fresh chip from striking bone. The trusty scraper processing last week's hide now dulls, nearly useless without care. In a world without gleaming metal, without factories churning mass production, without easy stores for quick replacements, you crafted your tools yourself, or survival slipped away. No choice, pure necessity driving ingenuity. But oh, what's truly remarkable, mind-blowing really. Stone tool making, what experts call knapping, wasn't a casual skill picked up one lazy afternoon. No way. It demanded years of devoted mastery, fostering an almost intimate understanding of stone's hidden properties. Different rocks behaved uniquely. Flint, so reliable and predictable. Obsidian razor-sharp, yet heartbreakingly fragile. Chert sturdy, but stubbornly hard to shape. You learned where to source prime stone, how to test its quality with knowing knocks, how to spot excellence before pouring precious hours into work. Essential wisdom. Watch your aunt now. See the lifetime expertise shining through. She's not randomly bashing rocks together. Far from it. She's reading the stone deeply, envisioning invisible fracture lines only trained eyes reveal. Each calculated strike, too forceful risks shattering everything. Too gentle yields nothing. Angle precise, impact point exact. Pure geometry and physics channeled through honed intuition and muscle memory. Mastery in motion. This refined method, the prepared core technique, embodied centuries of hard-won, accumulated knowledge, innovation built layer by layer. Your aunt has patiently shaped this flint over the past hour, skillfully removing flakes to form a core with ideal shape and angle. Now, yes, the payoff moment. One flawless strike, and a long, elegant, thin blade detaches cleanly, sharp enough to slice hide or meat with effortless pressure. She inspects critically, thumb tracing the edge. Perfect. She nods with quiet satisfaction. Good enough. Triumph. But she's far from finished. The blade craves hafting. Secure attachment to a handle for real utility. Here, craft blossoms into true art. She'd prepared a sturdy wooden handle earlier, hardwood piece with a precisely carved slot at one end. Now she draws a small leather pouch holding pine resin she'd gathered and gently heated to sticky perfection, blended with charcoal bits and crushed bone for extra strength. This becomes prehistoric superglue, ingenious adhesive. Watching her flow, something fascinating strikes you. She barely thinks consciously anymore. Hands dance automatically through rituals performed thousands upon thousands of times. Warm resin over flames, applied generously to slot, position blade flawlessly, wrap joint with thin sinew strips shrinking tight as they dry. Whole process, maybe 10 focused minutes, yet drawing on decades of personal experience and generations of shared knowledge. Profound heritage. Nearby, your brother tackles a wholly different challenge with equal dedication. He cradles antler from a deer taken days ago, slowly, patiently carving it into a lethal spear point. Meticulous labor. This differs vastly from stone. Antler organic and flexible. Absorbing brutal impacts stone would shatter under, yet harder to shape, demanding specialized tools and techniques. He wields a stone, berin, sharp chisel-like wonder, to scrape and carve delicately. Work grinds tediously, soft scraping sounds counterpointing your aunt's rhythmic taps. Thin antler curls peel away each stroke, piling neatly at his feet. Periodically he pauses, testing point against thumb for razor sharpness and perfect balance, refining relentlessly. This antler point stands apart from common stone-tipped spears, lighter for speed, flexible for endurance, thrown farther, far less prone to snapping on impact. Priceless advantage, but hours invested. Antler rare, only from successful deer hunts. Stone abounds everywhere. Antler, truly precious resource. And crucially, everyone knows exactly who crafted what. Pride matters. Archaeological digs recently reveal prehistoric craftspeople beamed with well-earned pride in creations. Evidence abounds in tools far more beautiful than bare function demanded. Stone points, symmetrical perfection, though asymmetry works fine. Bone needles etched tiny, intricate patterns. Antler spear throwers carved graceful animal shapes. Who decorates pure utility unless aesthetics burn deep, unless craving recognition? Admiration for skill, heartfelt expression, your brother's spear point. Efficient powerhouse, yes, but also breathtakingly beautiful. Because carrying it, using it to feed family, you want all to know the maker. Status earned, reputation built, identity shining, conveyed through masterful craftsmanship, empowering. Across camp, 3 dedicated women pursue equally vital magic. Clothing production, life-saving artistry. One labors over deer hide stretched taut on wooden frame, wielding stone scraper to meticulously remove every lingering trace of fat and membrane from inner surface. Thorough and tireless. Distinctive, rhythmic, chic echoes across camp. Steady heartbeat. Hands glide overlapping strokes for flawless coverage. Commitment shows. Not quick task. A single hide demands hours scraping. Then treatment follows. Smoke over fire or rub brain fat mixture preventing stiff drying. That, brain tanning. Chemistry mastered without labs. Centuries trial error genius. Someone discovered brains hold exact compounds preserving leather supple. Accident or experiment. Either way, knowledge flows parent to child generations deep. Brilliant. Nearby, her sister shapes already tanned hide. Bone. All. Pointed puncher. In hand. Slowly creating garment. Punch hole. Thread. Tough sinew. Punch next. Stitching crude by our standards yet remarkably effective. Warm. Durable. Flexible clothes lasting seasons. Years even. shielding from killing cold hours away. Third woman pioneers what earlier humans deemed impossible, sewing true with actual needle. Tiny bone piece drilled eye at end, threaded sinew. Recent revolution transforming clothing. Needles enable fitted garments, tailored bodies, decorated sewn beads or dyed strips. Personal expression. She's crafting winter gear for daughter, fur-lined, layered thick, warm against brutal months ahead cold. Little girl watches wrapped nearby, occasionally helping tiny hands. Adorable. This transfers knowledge, not lectures, but constant loving observation. Joyful imitation, timeless teaching. Oh, just picture the wonder. By the time that eager little girl reaches 10, she'll already be competent at basic hidework, handling skins with growing confidence. And by 20, she might shine as one of the most skilled leatherworkers in the entire group, mastering techniques that protect and warm everyone through harsh seasons. How inspiring to watch talents bloom like that. But clothing and tools weren't the only treasures being crafted. No, far from it. An older man sits quietly by himself, lost in delicate, intricate work that demands the utmost focus. He has a precious collection of beautiful shells he traded for last summer when a friendly neighboring group visited from the distant coast. Such exciting connections across lands. Now, with steady hands and infinite patience, truly admirable, he drills tiny, perfect holes in them using a simple stone drill. Painstaking? Absolutely. But these will transform into gleaming beads, strung carefully on strong plant fiber cord to create stunning necklaces or bracelets that catch the firelight. Pure magic, purely decorative. Yes, purely social, definitely. Nobody strictly needed jewelry to survive the day. No practical edge against cold or hunger. Yet humans have been crafting it for at least 100,000 years, probably far longer. Why? Because raw survival alone wasn't enough. We craved beauty, meaningful status markers, heartfelt ways to express our unique identity and deep affiliations. Doesn't that speak straight to the soul? Those shimmering beads whispered stories. I have far-reaching connections to the coast, and I possess the precious time to create beautiful things, and I truly value aesthetics in this rugged world. All that rich meaning conveyed through humble pierced shells on a simple string. Profound, isn't it? What strikes you deeply about all this bustling activity is the beautiful specialization emerging. Fascinating, right? Not everyone excelled at everything. No one was a master of all trades. Your aunt had poured decades into perfecting stonework, becoming a genuine expert whose tools everyone relied on. Your brother shone brilliantly at antler and bone carving, crafting points of wonder, though he remained merely adequate at knapping flint. The woman devoted to winter clothing, she stood as the undisputed best leatherworker in the group, her garments lifesavers. And when her rare skills shone needed, others joyfully contributed food shares or helpful hands in warm exchange. This wasn't quite a full-blown market economy with coins and shops, no, but it felt remarkably close, a wise recognition that different souls held different shining talents, and the whole group thrived when people specialized passionately. It laid the very foundation for something increasingly vital, growing, social complexity that bound communities tighter. In groups where everyone performed everything equally well, capable but uniform, there wasn't much room for hierarchy or nuanced status differences. But when individuals honed specialized skills others desperately needed, power dynamics shifted subtly yet profoundly. The finest toolmaker, the unparalleled leatherworker, the visionary artist, they all earned influence transcending mere physical strength or hunting prowess. How empowering for creativity and expertise. And everywhere, absolutely everywhere, children watched, with wide, absorbing eyes. A curious boy of maybe 8 plants himself near your aunt, earnestly trying to mimic her precise movements with his own small, clumsy stones. Most attempts flop hilariously, producing nothing useful at all, but she encourages him warmly anyway, voice full of pride and patience. Occasionally, she gently takes his little hand in hers, guiding strikes with care, demonstrating the exact right angle. Pure mentorship in action. Heart-melting. This was education. Prehistoric style, brilliant and organic. No rigid schools with desks, no formal curriculum drilled in. No, just constant, immersive observation and joyful practice under guiding experts who loved sharing wisdom. By 15, that boy might handle basic tool-making competently. By 25, with burning talent and true dedication, he could emerge expert enough to teach others confidently. And the sacred knowledge surges forward another generation, each adding small, clever refinements, tiny, brilliant improvements accumulating slowly over centuries into full-blown technological revolutions. Legacy in motion. Wow. The afternoon sun glides gracefully across the vast sky, and those soothing sounds of craft weave through camp. Rhythmic tapping of stone, careful scraping of hides, cheerful crackle of central fire, bursts of occasional conversation and laughter, together creating the essential material culture sustaining human life. Building patiently, one dedicated stroke at a time, the unbreakable foundation for everything wondrous that would follow in humanity's story. Timeless harmony. If you've long imagined early humans as exhausted, half-starved shadows trudging endlessly across harsh landscapes, constantly hunting desperately, gathering frantically, teetering forever on collapse's brink, you're certainly not alone. That grim image has been hammered into us for decades through stories and lessons. Life before civilization. We're told it was nasty, brutish, heartbreakingly short, a relentless, soul-crushing struggle for survival, no precious time for anything beyond grueling work. But hold on tight. When anthropologists bravely lived among modern hunter-gatherer societies and meticulously counted how time truly flowed, a breathtakingly different, far more hopeful picture emerged. Eye-opening. On average, adults in many foraging societies devoted only about 4 to 6 hours daily to what we'd label work, scouting food, preparing nourishing meals, maintaining trusty tools, basic camp upkeep, balanced and sustainable. The rest of the day, far from frantic scrambling, no endless toil. It brimmed with nothing in particular, delicious freedom, resting deeply, talking meaningfully, playing joyfully, crafting music that stirred souls, grooming affectionately, staring thoughtfully into vast distances, simply existing in peace. How liberating. If your day 40,000 years ago got plotted on a modern corporate timesheet, it'd utterly baffle managers. Hilarious, right? Yes, intense bursts existed, hours tracking elusive animals, hauling heavy gathered loads home, shaping stone tools with razor precision, but these surrounded by long, welcoming stretches of low-intensity, wonderfully flexible time, bendable around body's natural energy, shifting weather, groups' shared mood, true harmony with life. So what did people cherish in all those glorious hours? Much would feel surprisingly familiar, yet enchantingly slow, pure presence. You rest perhaps lying relaxed on your side beneath welcoming shade, half listening to relatives' comforting chatter, or sitting cozily near the fire, absently turning a smooth, cool pebble between fingers, mesmerized watching smoke twist upward in graceful ribbons. Meditative bliss. When body serves as your primary tool, preserving it wisely matters deeply. Rest isn't laziness ever. It's essential maintenance, honoring the vessel carrying you through. Wise self-care. You socialize. Conversation in a tight band of 20 or 30 isn't mere background. It's the vital web holding everyone together, unbreakable. People share eagerly. Who spotted which wandering herd? Who discovered a fresh tuba stand bursting with promise? Who clashed words last night? Not idle gossip, no. These are lifelines, information-sharing networks, gentle conflict resolution, heartfelt emotional support, community glue. You play with children, letting them scramble over you like a living, laughing jungle gym, pure joy. Showing them how to aim little sticks at targets, how to handle stones gently without nicks. Their games explode in delightful chaos, yet through them they rehearse adulthood beautifully, building coordination, testing social boundaries, exploring risk and deep trust. Future prepared. For long, unhurried day stretches, no urgent agendas loom, no ticking schedules demand, no alarm clocks yanking you task to task. Life's pace sways to sun's slow cycles, seasons' gentle turns, animals' mysterious movements, not cold minute hands. Freedom. And then, magically, in that abundant, unscheduled time, something sparks. Humans invent fun. Creativity unleashed. Archaeologists unearth small wonders at prehistoric sites defined tool or weapon categories. Tiny carved animals from bone or antler, so adorable. Smooth stone pieces drilled centrally like early spinning tops. Little human figurines, sometimes whimsically exaggerated. Practical? Not really. But to children, priceless toys. Picture it vividly. Small hands spinning stone discs on packed earth, giggling. Pairs of kids hunting dramatically with twig spears. Parents half amused, half watchful, allowing help on tasks needing none. Bonding pure. Play. Isn't life distraction, it's life itself, vibrant. Through it, children master aiming, negotiating, sharing, leading, following, skills for thriving. Hints of adult games tease too. Clustered small stones, bones suggesting dice or counters, etched rock lines as ancient game boards, quiet competitions passing time, forging stronger bonds. Rules lost to time, stakes unknown, but impulse crystal. Met needs free minds for patterns, challenges, playful puzzles. Games, structured daydreams, and early humans reveled in plenty. And then, soul-stirring, comes music. In Europe's deep caves, archaeologists uncover delicate flutes carved from bird bones or mammoth ivory, over 40,000 years old. Not crude noisemakers, no. Some boast carefully spaced holes yielding true musical scales, ingenious instruments. Someone experimented passionately, tweaking holes by ear, transforming raw bone into song bearers. Artistic breakthrough. Imagine that magical first. Someone in your band draws out such flute by fire as sky darkens, stars twinkling awake, embers glowing warmly. They lift it to lips, breathe deep, and strange. Clear notes rise sweetly above fire's crackle, voices murmur. Everyone freezes, spellbound. Notes repeat, hesitant, then boldly confident. Someone claps infectious rhythm, another taps stick on log. Feet stir, bodies sway, camp awakens in dance. Oh, just feel the magic unfolding, the camp, which mere minutes ago settled quietly into night's embrace, suddenly bursts alive with joyous dance. Can you hear the laughter and footsteps echoing? How incredible that shift from calm to celebration. music. And dance transcend mere entertainment, far deeper. They beautifully synchronize bodies swaying in unison and minds connecting profoundly. When everyone moves as one, breathes in shared rhythm, voices rising and falling together, something truly powerful ignites in the brain. Group identity strengthens like unbreakable bonds. Anxiety melts away softly. The vast world feels coherent and safe, even if just for that precious moment. Heartwarming, isn't it? In those small, vulnerable bands of early humans facing endless uncertainties, those shared rhythms may have mattered as much as sharpest spear or sturdiest shelter, lifelines of spirit and solidarity. After dancing winds down breathlessly, another wondrous leisure technology emerges. Stories. Timeless treasures. You're gathered back at the comforting fire, night wrapping gently around. Quiet descends now, peaceful and deep. A few last sparks float upward like tiny glowing insects dancing into darkness. Ethereal. Older members edge closer to welcoming flames for warmth and light. Children snuggle leaning against parents, pure tenderness. Someone, perhaps the band's most gifted talker, voice rich with expression, begins a captivating story. It might recount the last great hunt, wind shifting suddenly and nearly dooming everything, edge-of-seat drama, or the chaotic time river flooded wildly, forcing hurried camp move, adventure, or enchanting tale of trickster animals stealing fire cleverly, or spirit dwelling in thunderclouds punishing greedy hearts. Mythic wonder. Some stories root clearly in real events, vivid memories. Others soar into myth and boundless imagination, but everyone carries precious gifts, timely warning, clever strategy, cherished memory of who acted how and why it mattered deeply. Without writing or records, stories become the group's living memory, profound. They preserve vital information across years, generations, hidden good water sources in parching dry seasons, plants curing fevers versus deadly killers, consequences when someone broke key social rule last time. Listening to these tales flickering by firelight, half awake, half drifting dreamily, you're not merely entertained, no, you're trained quietly, gently for life's journey ahead, wisdom absorbed like nourishment for soul. But not all evening time fills with conversation, music, or play, no. Some devoted to slow, meticulous, grooming, intimate ritual. If you've watched primate documentaries, seen monkeys, apes carefully parting fur, picking dirt and parasites, inspecting skin with total concentration, looks fussy perhaps, but serves dual beauty, hygiene keeping healthy, bonding forging closeness. Early humans mirrored this, adapted perfectly. No thick fur, but plenty hair. You sit relaxed, back to trusted friend, sibling or partner. They gently comb scalp with fingers or simple bone, wood comb. Picking little bumps, removing debris bits, crushing unlucky louse between nails. Caring touch. Both practical hygiene and deeply soothing. The intimate contact, whispering wordlessly. You matter profoundly. I pay loving attention to you. How touching that non-verbal affirmation. Then flows. Decoration. Expressive joy. Red, ochre, natural iron-rich pigment appears at sites hundreds thousands years back. Ancient artistry, often ground powder, mixed fat or water, applied skin or hair, sunscreen, insect repellent, symbolic body paint. Perhaps all three woven together, multi-purpose genius. You sit patiently while someone traces meaningful lines on face, chest, arms, perhaps marking band membership proudly, signaling ritual role, or honoring completed dangerous hunt, personal pride. hair braided intricately, beards trimmed, decorated lovingly, simple jewelry, shells, teeth, carved bone, threaded hair or hung cords around wrists, necks, adornments sparkling. These acts demand time, unhurried luxury, not required eating, drinking, staying alive, no, but essential turning bare survival into vibrant life-rich identity, breathtaking beauty, profound meaning, soul enriching, and woven between talking, playing, decorating, music making, long stretches of something modern world nearly forgot, simply watching, pure presence. You lie back, gazing clouds, drifting lazily skyward. Sit quietly tracing ants' determined line, carrying food nestward. Stand camp edge, watching distant herd grazing. The graceful cluster scatter, wind shifting scents subtly. Trace star patterns emerging, noticing constellations rising specific seasons, moons waxing, waning cycles, cosmic wonder. To modern eyes, might seem boredom, idle, but for early humans, constant gentle observing built intricate mental world maps, essential. Trained razor attention, sharpened intuition deeply. Person spending hundreds evenings sky watching quietly. First notice unusual clouds hinting storm. Lifesaver. Child endlessly following tracks playfully. Grows band's best tracker, no formal lessons, natural mastery. And something more, mysterious, less practical. No glowing screens distracting, no written words demanding, no piped background noise. Silence, stillness never empty. Feel full, brimming insect hums, bird calls, wind sighing grass, distant water rush, soft breathing loved ones nearby, alive. In that rich stillness, boundary you world thins beautifully. Not separate mind-trapped frantic schedule, peaking nature window off day. No, you animal-embedded environment, attentive, shaped by it profoundly. Oneness, so day early human 40,000 years back. No endless toil blur, no, pattern effort, ease, focused work, rambling leisure, hunting, gathering, crafting, yes, but also joking merrily, singing soulfully, dancing freely, grooming tenderly, decorating expressively, storytelling captivatingly, cloud watching dreamily, stargazing wondrously, balanced humanity, lives dangerous, illness, injury, hunger lurked close, true, but gifted something rare, modern lives. Long unbroken time stretches nothing urgent demanded. Mind wander freely, be others agenda free, simply awake living world, precious gift. As fire dies down gently, last story fades night's warmth, that spaciousness cradles into sleep. Tomorrow work returns, but also music swelling, laughter ringing, slow quiet human being, eternal cycle. You're not alone out savannah, forest, icy riverbank, no, live, band, not village, city, tiny human world, 20, 30, 40 people, rarely 50, small, every voice known intimately, every laugh recognized instantly, every dark step familiar, tell who's behind by foot scrape ground. Recognize midnight cough, deep bonds, not accident, species design, bands too small, can't defend, share skills, find partners, too big, unstable, conflicts multiply, mouths overwhelm, hard move herds, seasons shift. Natural selection, culture, practicality, shaped sweet spot, living room size society, intimate, flexible, deeply personal, perfect. Everyone fits mental map head, generous souls, lazy ones, secret keepers trustworthy, food sharers bad hunts, quiet child feeders unnoticed, nuanced knowing. These invisible relationship maps, important stone tools, fire, survival keys, where relationships bloom. Conflict arises, not dramatic courts, kings, but everyday frictions. Someone claimed excess meat, flirted another's partner, skipped firewatch turn, real tensions. Band small, can't walk away forever, no. Sleeping 10 feet tonight, inescapable. So peace kept how? Without police, laws, prisons. Oldest tools invented, gossip, mediation, reputation, subtle, effective. Oh, just feel the profound power of it. Gossip, in your ancient world, wasn't mere idle chatter or petty talk. No way. It served as brilliant law enforcement, vital news network, and communal social media all rolled into one ingenious system. How cleverly human. When two hunters clash heatedly over who truly wounded the antelope first, claiming that crucial glory, people notice sharply, eyes and ears attuned. The story spread swiftly around the flickering fire that night, retold vividly, reshaped subtly, with each telling to highlight truths. By the time it circles the group fully, everyone knows intimately who acted selfishly, who showed true generosity, who offered heartfelt apology, who stubbornly held a grudge. No one scribbles anything down on paper or screens, but nothing, absolutely nothing, is ever forgotten. Memories etched deep, unforgettable accountability. If someone greedily hoards precious food instead of sharing, oh, that becomes a cautionary story fast. The next shortage hits. People might hesitate, slower to extend help his way, natural consequences flowing. But flip it. Someone displays breathtaking bravery on a perilous hunt, or tender kindness nursing a frail, sick elder. That transforms into an inspiring tale too, celebrated warmly. These living stories form your essential social credit score, profoundly fair. They decide who receives swift aid in desperate trouble, who earns trust for critical tasks, who joins those serious, hushed conversations shaping the band's future. Reputation everything, earned and guarded. For thornier, bigger conflicts brewing hot, no grand courthouse with robes and gavels exists. You turn instead to cherished elders, those seasoned souls radiating wisdom. Picture the older woman who's witnessed 100 fiery arguments over meat shares or marriage bonds, her calm presence soothing. Or the man vividly recalling the last time two brothers nearly erupted into blows, and how peace was gently restored. Treasures of experience. They're not stern judges in our modern sense, no cold rulings. But when tempers flare dangerously, people naturally seek them out for guidance. They sit patiently between angry parties, speaking slowly and deliberately, weaving in past events for perspective, adding rich context, reminding all of shared brutal hardships endured together and countless past kindnesses exchanged, rebuilding bridges. Mediation. As pure survival strategy, essential. A bitter feud splitting a band of 30, catastrophic death sentence, halves too tiny to defend against threats, too weak for long moves, terrifyingly vulnerable to next merciless winter. Unity or peril. So the entire social fabric tilts quietly, beautifully toward reconciliation, healing over harm. People tease playfully instead of accusing harshly head-on. Complaints voiced roundabout, gentle nudges. Songs composed hinting bad behavior subtly, no direct names shaming. Sounds indirect to us? Perhaps. But that soft, persistent pressure proves incredibly powerful. Allows change without crushing face loss. Invites stepping back from destructive edges, graceful paths to peace, wise beyond words. Underneath every layer pulses one simple, unbreakable truth. Your very survival depends on other people. Profound interconnection. That reliance begins earliest, from your first breath into the world. In your tight band, Children never belong solely to one modern-style nuclear family. No isolated units. They belong wholly to the camp, the loving group, the woven network, everyone's sacred charge. Your mother matters deeply, your father too, but equally vital. Grandparents sharing stories, aunts and uncles playing games, older siblings watching protectively, even unrelated adults warmly adopted into the family circle, offering care freely. All in raising, in today's anthropology terms, cooperative breeding, shared load. In your ancestors' daily reality, simply life, natural, joyful way. Mother might venture gathering roots far afield, carrying younger siblings snug, or aiding meat processing, busy contributing. Yet someone always nurtures you. Loving aunt letting gnaw soft hide piece for teething relief. Playful older cousin demonstrating stack little stones into towers, building skills. Grandmother humming rhythmic, soothing patterns while braiding strong cord. Your tiny brain quietly absorbing language's melody from infancy. Pure immersion. It takes a village. Isn't cute metaphor here. It's literal. Job description. Everyone pitching in beautifully. If tragedy strikes, mother dies suddenly, injures gravely, or must trek all day tracking migrating herds, you don't face automatic peril alone. Redundancy saves. Other breasts nurse freely. Other strong arms carry securely. Other invested minds safeguard your survival. Safety net, invisible yet unbreakable, woven through early human life. Heartwarming resilience. This shared care frees adults wonderfully to specialize. Some excel patient teaching intricate skills. Others thrive rough and tumble play building balance, strength. Some master comforting nightmare-woken cries with gentle words. Diverse gifts shining. Result? By 10 or 12, you've absorbed lessons from whole village of devoted teachers, each sharing tiny, priceless knowledge fragments from own parents, grandparents. Rich inheritance, exponential learning, relationships, and partnerships. Bloom far more varied than rigid, one man, one woman forever model. Fluid, adaptive beauty. Environments, cultures, eras differed wildly, patterns shifting wisely. Some groups embraced long-term pair bonds, partners raising children together across many fruitful seasons, stability grounding. Others flowed more fluidly, unions forming passionately, dissolving as needs changed. Freedom. Arrangements we label polygynous. One man linked multiple women, or polyandrous. One woman centering several male alliances. Crucial resource sharing in harsh lands. Practical love. Key truth shining clear. No single natural prehistoric marriage blueprint existed. Diversity thrived. Constant needs. Manage jealousy gracefully. Share resources equitably. Protect vulnerable children fiercely. Evolving tools helped. Formal taboos guiding behavior. Joking relationships easing tensions. Unspoken rules navigating smoothly. Who approaches whom respectfully? Who owes meat or favors? Who jokes what publicly without offense? Like quiet traffic lights steering emotional maze of desire, fierce loyalty, heavy responsibility, harmonious flow, and band of 30, not entire universe, no isolation, beyond familiar faces circling your fire, other bands await, groups speaking similar languages, dialects, linked distant cousinship, old trusted alliances, simple long-standing habit. You encounter them few times yearly, but those visits rank life's most cherished vibrant events, reunions sparking joy. Imagine late summer glory or dry season's end, resources temporarily abundant one lush valley, herds clustering thick, fish running rivers silver, fruit trees' heavy bending branches. Word spreads organically, no phones, maps, but through joyful meeting chains. Lone hunter crosses another band, shares excitedly where game thrives abundantly. Visiting cousin chats, riverbend teeming fish. Slowly, eagerly, bands converge like rivers to sea. This, your heartfelt version of a festival, celebration pure. At seasonal gatherings, trade blossoms exuberantly. Coastal man offers shimmering shells, dried savory fish. Mountain traveler brings prized obsidian gleaming for blades. Others ochre vibrant paint, fine supple skins, intricately carved bone tools. Wonders. Objects journey hundreds miles, small leaps, hands changing again. Each sealed warm conversation, shared tales, perhaps communal meal bonding deeper. Mating. Sparks here too, vital renewal. Band 30 small, can't pair exclusively inside forever generation after generation. Inbreeding silent deadly threat, genetic peril. Alliances other bands crucial lifeline. Young meet potential partners outside, eyes meeting across fires, hearts fluttering. Some return home new mate hand, fresh blood. Some depart permanently, joining another, connections widening. Modern lens. Population genetics. Ensuring health. Ancestors. Simply life flowing forward. Natural continuation. Gatherings prime spreading. Information. Someone shares breakthrough. New secure stone point attachment spear plant resin. Game changer. Another found milder winter valley. Hope. Noticed emerging predator area. Warning. Stories, cautions, techniques ripple networks. Carried vivid memories, spoken words, not cold wires. Organic wisdom web. All hinges extraordinary adaptation. Language. Not primitive grunts. Gestures. Layered, flexible, combinatorial speech, rich expression. Say not lion there, but 3 lions emerged ravine last dry season low river, so avoid camping small children. Detailed warning. Explain hunt strategy intricately, weave myth, share dream vividly. By 40,000 years ago, ancestors wielded languages capable any today. Varied vocabularies, unique rhythms, same core machinery, syntax structuring, tenses timing, metaphors painting, jokes sparking laughter, insults sharp, love songs melting hearts, lullabies soothing babes, language empowered coordinating complex hunts seamlessly, elders warning children unseen dangers vividly, drought news next valley arriving pre-famine, life-saving. Night, half asleep fires glow. Language drifts you waves, quiet storytelling. Heroic animals triumphing. Clever ancestors outwitting. Dangerous spirits lurking. Lost lovers yearning. Immersive worlds. This world. Elderly. Never sidelined. Treasured hard drives knowledge. Physically demanding life. Old bodies slow. Knees ache trails. Eyes blur details. Hands tremble napping stone, yet minds, sharpened decades experience, grow ever valuable. Old man can't sprint chasing deer, still recalls precisely stars signaling season change, guiding migrations. Grandmother gathers shorter distances, remembers exactly plants easing stomach pain versus deadly poisons, saving lives. Elder endured brutal winter, advises timely move, sky ground deceptively calm, foresight averts disaster. Oh, just imagine the quiet power of it, when a child's fever spikes suddenly in the night, burning hot and frightening, the elder's soul. Step forward calmly, their voices steadying everyone's panic. They recall past fevers with crystal clarity, what soothing herbs eased the heat before, what cool compresses worked wonders, what signs meant danger passing. When faint smoke curls on the distant horizon, hinting at a far-off wildfire, alarm rising. They remember vividly the last terrifying forest burn, which panicked animals fled, which direction for safety, which sheltered valleys stayed miraculously untouched and green. Living guides, priceless. They are nothing less than walking libraries, repositories of famine's harsh lessons and abundance's joyful plenty, devastating floods and parching dry years, bitter conflicts resolved and sweet reconciliations forged. In a world utterly without books or written records, losing an elder suddenly feels catastrophic, like a vast modern library erupting in flames overnight. Irreplaceable knowledge vanishing forever, heart-wrenching loss, which gently brings us to death. That inevitable shadow touching every life. People died young far too often, sudden infection claiming swiftly, brutal injury from fall or fight, perilous childbirth stealing mothers, accidents mid-hunt, or simple tragic tumble from a tall tree gathering fruit. Reality stark. Yet what's truly striking, deeply moving in the archaeological record, isn't merely death's frequency. It's how profoundly, tenderly people responded to it, care that speaks volumes about the human heart. We uncover graves, not careless pits with bodies discarded coldly, no, but careful, loving arrangements, skeletons curled gently in fetal positions as if peacefully sleeping toward rebirth, some dusted reverently with vibrant red ochre, painted perhaps for a sacred final journey into the beyond. Individuals laid with cherished tools for the afterlife, shimmering beads, nourishing meat pieces, fierce animal teeth, beautiful ornaments, gifts accompanying the spirit. In certain sites, bodies rest in deliberately filled pits, perhaps even scattered with fragile flowers, their petals long faded but intention eternal. Ritual whispering loud. This transcends mere disposal, hints strongly at profound ritual, belief in something more. Maybe your band holds the dead journey onward to another realm, perhaps transforming into watchful animals guiding the living, or becoming guardian spirits overhead, or entering storied shadow world beneath earth, or floating above clouds in starlit peace. Whatever specific beliefs vary band to band, one truth shines clear and poignant. Death is never treated as nothing. Empty end. It's honored, grieved, woven into life's fabric. When someone precious dies in your camp, ordinary rhythm shatters heartbreakingly. Gathering trips postpone in respect. Hunts proceed quieter, subdued. People cluster closer at night, seeking comfort in shared warmth. Words soften to whispers. Children ask innocent, piercing questions. Curiosity meeting sorrow. Adults share stories tenderly. The departed's breathtaking bravery, boundless generosity, even humorous, foolish mistakes that bring smiles through tears, celebrating full life lived. Death joins the group's gentle gossip too, but transformed register, not judging behavior harshly, no, seeking deeper meaning, lessons, love enduring. Burying with such care, returning beloved to earth's embrace thoughtfully, does something magical for the living. Knits souls tighter in shared grief's raw ache, shared memories' warm glow, shared fear of fragility, shared hope in continuation. Healing through unity, in deepest sense. Social life and community aren't mere pleasant bonuses to early human existence, no add-ons. They form the core technology, enabling everything else, survival's true engine. Your ancestors didn't endure because strongest individuals dominated, no lone wolves thriving. They flourished embedded in rich networks, tender care, binding obligation, open communication, preserved memory, interwoven strength. around that intimate circle of 20 to 50 beloved faces, known better than own reflection in still water, the full human story already unfolds vibrantly, cooperation blooming, conflict challenging, love igniting, jealousy testing, wisdom guiding, foolishness teaching, birth celebrating, loss mourning. Tiny yet mighty moving tribe, carrying flickering fire, crafted tools, cherished stories, precious genes across vast landscapes, epic in miniature. As sun drifts lower gracefully, day cooling softly, those unbreakable community bonds shape your prehistoric day's final hours beautifully. How you gather close around welcoming fire, what soulful songs rise together, what treasured memories surface, what bold dreams dare whisper for tomorrow. Connection eternal. By hunting and gathering done, bellies mostly full and satisfied. Fire burned down to steady, comforting orange glow. Something else stirs quietly, yet feels utterly necessary. Deeper nourishment. Your ancestors held another vital job beyond mere staying alive. They sought to make sense of being alive, finding meaning in existence's wonder and mystery. Picture cave entrance as night falls gently, last daylight fading outside, air cooling crisp, insect hums and distant animal calls rising in evening chorus. Inside, fire paints dancing shadows across walls, alive with movement. Someone reaches for red, ochre piece. Another unrolls sinew-length threaded gleaming shell beads. In half darkness, people begin transforming themselves and surrounding world, creative spark igniting. To us, gazing back, it appears art and religion intertwined. To them, living it. Probably simply life, natural expression of spirit. Deep in darkness, far from cave mouth, beyond practical sleep or storage needs, stunning paintings. Await discovery, not casual doodles entrance, not quick rain-waiting sketches, no. Most spectacular Ice Age Europe images emerge hundreds meters underground, places reached only crawling tight passages or climbing risky ledges, sunlight never penetrating, horses galloping, bison charging, lions prowling, woolly rhinoceroses thundering, mammoths trumpeting, herds flowing eternally across stone as if rock breathes life. Artists chose wall curves masterfully, becoming bulging bison shoulder, arched ribs, swelling horse chest. Images shaded, layered, designed to dance, move in flickering torchlight, alive. Not home decoration, nobody dwelt there. Creating demanded organization, gathering torches, fuel, pigments, tools, planning expeditions, absolute darkness, dangerous commitment. Knowing cave intimately avoid losing way, choosing remote places deliberately, filling with images perhaps only creators ever witnessed. Why such effort? We ponder endlessly, but clues whisper possibilities. 1. Teaching. Hunters guiding adolescents deep, torches held high, pointing painted herds while sharing vital stories. Exact spear aim spots, wounded animal behaviors, seasonal bison migration valleys. Walls transform three-dimensional blackboard, underground school preserving knowledge. Another, ritual. Traditional societies view animal images not mere pictures, tools influencing reality. Drawing successful hunt existence beforehand, honoring dependent animal spirits, even apologizing lives taken. Painted bison. Prayers more than art, sacred communion, or beautifully both, teaching enveloped myth, practical wisdom encoded sacred tales, ritual dark hunt, preparing dawn's real one, layered depth, yet question lingers hauntingly. Why so deep? Risk underground tunnels when outside rock face suffices. Some archaeologists propose deep chambers chosen precisely isolating ordinary life. Down there, no day-night cycle, horizon vanishing, weather irrelevant, just enveloping stone, impenetrable darkness, fire's glow, echoing voices, mind's inner stirrings unleashed, perfect conditions brewing, altered consciousness, transcendent states, leading to unfossilizable yet inferable, early spirituality, soul's reach. Many hunter-gatherer cultures today feature shamans, dancing, chanting, fasting, using psychoactive plants, entering trances, journeying other realms, communing ancestors, negotiating animal spirits, healing sick, bridge worlds. If similar existed tens, thousands years back, evidence strongly suggests yes, perfect sense performing ceremonies deep underground, Earth's very belly, womb-like return. Dark Europe caves yield strange clusters, dots, lines, geometric signs encircling animals, not solely realistic. Abstract marks, ladders climbing nowhere, zigzags flashing, hand stencils eternal, dot series perhaps aligning lunar cycles, mysterious notation. Researchers debate early system counting days, tracking seasons, predicting migrations, or visions patterns, geometric light bursts behind closed eyes trance. If true, cave walls record not just external animals, but profound inner human mind experiences. Windows soul. While underground wonders unfolded, surface held parallel magic, people decorating themselves, personal expression blooming. Oh, just dive deep into this ancient wonder. Long before, those breathtaking famous cave paintings of Europe burst onto the scene, tens of thousands of years earlier, humans in vibrant Africa were already grinding vibrant ochre into fine powder. Such pioneering creativity. They mixed it skillfully with fat or water, rubbing it boldly on their glowing skin, smearing it proudly on essential tools, using it to richly stain supple hides. How intimate and expressive that must have felt. Color as connection. At archaeological sites over 100,000 years old, mind-blowing antiquity, experts uncover pieces of ochre deliberately shaped and intricately engraved, alongside shells carefully pierced for threading, tiny, precious beads worn smooth in spots from constant rub against skin or pigment-stained clothing, necklaces draping gracefully, bracelets hugging wrists, perhaps even anklets jingling merrily with every step or joyful dance. Timeless adornment, sparkling. Personal adornment. Might seem trivial next to epic mammoth hunts, humble baubles, but no, it marks a profound revolutionary shift in human spirit. When you begin decorating your body, you're broadcasting messages silently yet powerfully. Vivid color, intricate pattern, gleaming jewelry declaring who you are, where you truly belong, married or single proudly, healer guiding with wisdom, or hunter providing fiercely loyal member this close-knit group, not distant outsiders. Identity shining bright, those beads and pendants. They likely carried woven stories too, evocative talismans. A coastal shell worn far inland, whispers trade networks spanning vast distances, adventurous travel tales, or cherished memory of a life-changing journey. A fierce tooth from dangerous animal, bold trophy proclaiming, I faced terror head-on and survived triumphantly, courage embodied. How storytelling through objects moves the heart. Red ochre. Especially appears repeatedly in burials, poignant ritual. Bodies gently dusted red, graves thoughtfully lined pigment, sacred send-off. Perhaps symbolizing life's vital blood, eternal renewal, or setting sun's warm farewell, or protection guiding dead on mysterious journey. making them visible to watchful spirits. Whatever layers of meaning, it meant something profound, deeply felt, reverence eternal. By around 35,000 years ago, symbolic world explodes crowded with wonder. No longer just beads, paint, animal images. No, people begin carving human form itself, enchanting Venus figurines, small handheld sculptures masterfully from bone, ivory or stone, portable magic. They share strikingly similar style across immense distances, France to Siberia, cultural connections vast. Many exaggerate breasts, hips, bellies generously, curves celebrating abundance, faces often minimal, absent even, arms, feet barely hinted, focus laser sharp on bodies evoking pregnancy, fertility, life's overflowing bounty, powerful evocation. What were they exactly? Mysteries teasing us. Some believe fertility charms clutched hopefully by women yearning healthy children, prayers in pocket. Others propose representations mother goddess, early deity embodying birth's miracle, nourishment's gift, life-death cycles eternal. Even intriguing theory, self-portraits carved pregnant women gazing downward own transforming bodies, seeing rounded belly, full hips, breasts prominently, face unseen mirrorless world, intimate reflection. We can't know surely, but whatever purpose, these figures reveal crucial truth. People thinking symbolically profound, not mere this woman, no. This small object stands bigger, womanhood essence, motherhood sacred, life force itself, abstract thought blooming. That symbolic thinking didn't halt bodies, animals, no, extended skyward, cosmic reach. Hints subtle yet tantalizing. Some early humans paid rapt attention stars above. Few sites yield carved bones, stones, notched series, perhaps matching moon phases or seasonal events. Migrations stirring, plants ripening timely. Certain cave animal images cluster ways. Researchers argue align star patterns specific yearly times. Controversial debates, rage. But surprising, not at all. Survival hinged remembering, herds moving when, salmon running rivers, plants edible prime. You watch sky vigilantly, notice repeating patterns, eventually perceive sky giant story penned personally you, celestial narrative. Sky tells stories, then perhaps animals do too, alive with wisdom. Hunter-gatherer peoples worldwide, animals rarely mere meat sources, no, persons different kind, wise teachers, sly tricksters, protective guardians, bear walking upright thoughtfully, raven stealing sun mischievously, antelope gifting humans fire generously. Stories not entertainment alone, no, moral lessons guiding right, ecological knowledge preserving balance, landscape maps etched memory, practical poetry. Your Paleolithic ancestors viewed world this enchanted way almost certainly. Painting running horse cave wall, perhaps not literal horse, no. Invoking spirit moves horse-like grace, thinks horse instincts, sees world horse height. Offend spirit, bad hunting years, consequence dire, honor deeply, abundance flows, blessing. Result, world brimming meaning everywhere, rocks whispering, rivers singing, trees standing sentinel, animals conversing, clouds shaping omens, stars guiding, all beings pulsing stories, intentions profound. That animated world, special people emerge naturally, vivid dreamers piercing veils, pattern noticers unseen others, calmers panicked children soothing words, pain easers healing songs. These become shamans, or whatever ancestors named bridges worlds. Imagine night fires glow, day's labors done, peace settling. People circle loosely, some mending nets patiently, others half asleep drowsily. Shaman, storyteller, singer, one goes between realms, begins mysteriously. Drum awakens, perhaps stretched hide frame or hollow log, struck stick, simple yet potent. Beat slow heart-like first, then quickening pulse. Voices rise harmonious, feet tap instinctively. Groups breathing synchronizes unconsciously, unity building. Soon, not just hearing rhythm, you're immersed inside it, carried along, transcendent. Music. Oldest human technologies known, soul-stirring. Bone flutes wing birds or hollowed reindeer antlers wind instruments. Simple percussion leaving no archaeological trace, yet surely ancient language itself. Primal expression. Flickering firelight, rhythm melody work extraordinary. Dissolve individual boundaries gently. Everyone moves time, sings phrase unison, claps beat. The group transforms single organism momentarily. Fear shrinks, time expands wondrously. Shared trance states entered, mild, profound, needing no drugs, breath, sound, movement alone. Those moments, stories, animal spirits, ancestors visiting, journeys other realms, not distant tales, feel vividly real, experiencing altered consciousness truly, different mind mode body amid synchronized others. Oneness, profound. That's early spiritualities. Social heart, not merely explaining thunderstorms or afterlife mysteries. No, welding fragile human groups stronger survive. Shared rituals binding, symbols uniting, songs harmonizing. Glue holding band when food's scarce, danger looms near. Lifeline, putting together, deep cave art's majesty, beads, ochre's intimacy, carved figurines mystery, abstract marks enigma, music, trance's ecstasy. Picture early humans emerge as radically different brutish caveman caricature. No, day, tracked animals keenly, napped stone precisely, dug roots diligently, watched weather wisely. Night, stepped different realm, dead listening perhaps, sky speaking truths, animals bearing secret names, mountains holding ancient memories, carried heavy spears, sharp tools, practical yes, but invisible treasures too, myths inspiring, songs uplifting, rules guiding, taboos protecting, dreams illuminating. Fire burns low finally, last stories fade, night's embrace, ochre-stained hands wiped clean hides, drums silence. People stretch grass, skins beds, they sleep universe helped shape, meaning richly layered raw cold, hunger, danger, hope woven, sleeping, painted herds wait patient dark tunnels, beads rest warm skin, Venus figurine lies beside head or pouch treasures. Above, stars turn slowly, watched or not, eternal. Morning, practical survival resumes, but inner life, songs echoing, symbols glowing, hidden forces sensed, never stops truly. Still us today, only shifted. Torchlight limestone now screens dark. Ochre skin digital avatars, fashion brands. Carved ivory figurines, icons, logos, characters meaning far beyond substance. Tools evolved dramatically. Wiring underneath. Enduring human. Oh, feel the hush settling in as the night deepens in our Paleolithic camp. The last embers glowing a soft, comforting red, like a heartbeat in the darkness. Someone turns over gently in their sleep, rustling grasses and skins. A child murmurs softly, perhaps dreaming, and is instantly soothed by a parent's quiet touch. Such tender care. Outside, a distant wolf howls its wild song across the vast landscape, and no one stirs. They've heard it 1,000 times before, familiar as breath. Peaceful resilience. Tomorrow promises more walking across sun-warmed earth, more patient gathering of nature's gifts, maybe another thrilling hunt if signs align. But for now, oh, for this precious now, in the serene quiet between crackling coals and dawn's first whisper, the rich inner life of early humans rests deeply, not vanished forever. No, just patiently waiting to awaken vibrantly with the rising sun and the timeless stories that bind everything. How beautiful that continuity feels. By late afternoon, the light transforms magically. Shadows stretch long and dramatic across the ground. Colors gently drain from the vivid landscape, and temperature drops quicker than you'd expect. Nature's subtle cue. For Paleolithic people, this isn't merely a pretty sunset to admire. No, it's a vital signal, a quiet yet insistent alarm clock whispering urgently. Whatever tasks linger, finish them now. Time shifts. The open landscape feeling safe and manageable in bright daylight. It changes profoundly in encroaching dark. Depth perception falters confusingly. Predators lurking shaded all day begin stirring hungrily. Danger awakens. So your wise ancestors can track their world inward protectively, drawing activities toward the eternal evening anchor, defining human nights for hundreds of thousands of years. Fire, life's glowing heart. Not every group possessed it constantly. Some lost flames occasionally, or traveled without during migrations. But for many late Paleolithic communities, fire stood central to evening, as gravity grounds your body today. Irreplaceable. Not just tool, no. Boundary line profound. Inside circle light and warmth. Us, safe together. Outside, everything else unknown, potentially threatening. Sanctuary. As sun sinks golden, people drift homeward instinctively toward flickering center. Gatherers returning triumphant armloads, dry wood fueling night. Bundles fresh plants, perhaps delightful surprises. Hidden eggs, golden honey, coastal shellfish. Hunters arrive later, sometimes triumphant hauling meat, beaming pride. Sometimes empty-handed, silent reflection. Children, day's games, experiments swarming joy. Titan playful radius, drawn invisible gravity fire's promise. Homecoming warmth. Noise shifts beautifully. Daytime filled scraping tools, chopping wood, calling distances. Busy energy. Evening contained, intimate, crackling wood consuming. Soft thud final flake hammered stone tool. Muted voices murmuring settling glow. Cozy harmony. Before true rest claims anyone, one crucial job rivals food importance. Building sleep place. Thoughtful ritual. Bed's luxury. No, essential. Survival technology. Ingenious comfort. Ground cold biting, damp chilling, teeming insects, parasites, heat-sucking stone draining warmth. Lie directly night after night. Body suffers dearly. Aches, illness. Ancestors learned craft barriers earth self. Archaeologists uncover ancient bedding traces, compressed grass, leaf, aromatic plant layers, thick mats, renewed repeatedly same spots. Low-tech mattress genius. First clears worse stones, debris, preparing clean. Base dry material, grass trapping air, reeds shedding water, leaves insulating, smart layering. Top softer plants perhaps, moss cushioning. Then available, animal skins, deer, antelope, bigger game hides, hair up insulation, flesh endurability, cozy haven. Not owned furniture, no. Spots follow. Social map. Parents near children protection, elders easiest assist, protect, tense relationships spaced thoughtfully. Over time, everyone knows belonging spot nightfall. Arrangements reveal status subtly, alliances warmly, affections quietly, no words needed. Intimate insight. While quiet bed-building edges camp, center drama unfolds. Evening meal, communal celebration. Imagine constant day-chewing grazing. Evidence says no. Many groups, largest reliable meal clustered nightfall, shared highlight. Day snacking, berry handful here, marrow cracked bone there. Nuts, tubers go, sustaining. But day's full success accounting, especially meat bounty, evening fire, gratitude shared, food transformed magically, meat roasted golden or boiled skin bags, bark containers, bones split fat-rich marrow, organs quick-cooked spoiling, plants pounded, peeled, ground, toxins leached, roots tossed ashes slow cook, skewers turned patiently, fire tended intensity, logs timed perfectly, not chaos. Practiced choreography, graceful dance generations refined, distribution, social performance profound, first piece, whom, best cuts priority. Successful hunter horde or custom divide, elders respected first, small children nourished next, everyone else, equity, groups varied, but truth universal, selfish big meal, long survival foraging society impossible, generosity key, evening teaches generosity memory deeply, notice sharers, hoarders, child far side receiving liver fat, pretenders ignoring, choices sink reputation, world no written laws, behaviors shape help unlucky turns, fairness woven, hands busy, mouths too. Firelight conversations, thickens social life richly, day communication practical shouted, over here, watch out, try way, night volume drops intimate, content deepens, debrief day, a hunter explains antelope bolting unexpectedly, gatherer laughs basket berries tip over mishap, minor conflict surfaces, harsh word, broken tool, group smooths chewing, tension tomorrow dangerous, harmony restored, planning flows, move camp when, scout distant ridge who, follow reindeer north or river linger. Not formal counsels, patterns emerge naturally. Some speak more, others nod, influencing quietly. Consensus beautiful. Children absorb silently, learning animals, plants, facts, decisions made how, persuasive what, speak, silent when, education immersive. Then, stories. Ignite once stomachs full, hunger edge gone, tone shifts magical. Someone launches familiar tale, ancestor slaying monstrous lion, heroism, or river rising carrying half camp, adventure survival, wrapped myth, speculation, invention, embellish, absolutely. Exaggerations etch critical info unforgettable, brilliant mnemonic. Another adds sky-reaching story, above same star-crowded sky city lights hide, full stars almost crowded, Milky Way ghostly band, meteors sudden scratches, cosmic spectacle. First human wonder, what that? Unknown, but strange no one did, curiosity eternal. Long before recognized constellations, people traced shapes, fingers, animals, ancestors, paths, bright star giant creature eye-watching, Milky Way souls death path, moon phases powerful being moods, favor keep, early cosmology, wonderstruck, oh, just breathe in the stillness. None of this leaves fossils, those skyward gazes and whispered wonders, but the human brain hasn't changed that much at all, has it? Give people unhurried time, a vast dark sky blazing with stars, and the deep need to explain a dangerous, mysterious world, and they will invent stories, beautiful, guiding stories that light the soul. How timeless that creative spark feels. Those stories shaped behavior profoundly, deciding when to travel safely, when to risk bold hunts, practical wisdom woven into magic. Slowly, night after glorious night, a cosmic calendar might form in their minds, stitched from untouchable light points, everyone gazed upon in awe. Celestial guide, astonishing. But while eyes turn upward, thoughts wandering far among stars, the body remains here, grounded in a very real, risky place. Night in the Paleolithic world is not safe. Chilling truth. Beyond fire's protective ring, predators prowl hungrily, hyenas cackling, lions roaring, leopards silent, wolves howling. Some regions, they smell fresh meat, hear voices, sense heat, drawn closer. Most nights, Fire's glow and concentrated human presence deter effectively. Safety in numbers and flame. But not always. Fossil sites reveal human bones scarred unmistakable carnivore teeth damage. Grim reminders. Caves layered occupancy. Humans one season. Big cats claiming next. Territory contested. So someone always stays half awake. Vigilance essential. Rotating duty wisely. Natural light sleepers alert. Others take turns. Waking toss more wood. Listening intently wrong rustle grass. Danger signal. Camp arranged slow approaches. Densest brush cleared strategically. Thorny branches piled key access points barriers. Sleeping spots clustered. If one startles awake, others rouse seconds. Rapid response. And many late Paleolithic camps. Another watchful set eyes, ears. Dogs, or animals soon becoming loyal companions. By around 40,000 years ago, domestication process underway some places. Wolves, slightly more tolerant humans, less fearful. Willing linger camp edges, scavenging bones, scraps. Generations, those tamer tolerated, even encouraged, bond beginning. Noisy strangers approach, alarm, smell predators first, warning, follow tracks expertly, help hunt brilliantly. Night, earn place repeatedly, curled firelight edge or pressed human bodies bedding, extra warmth, thick fur living blanket, children especially. Ears twitch faint sounds humans miss, distant growl, raised head alert, sudden bark, early warning wired nervous system. Rely on that? Life without feels dangerously exposed, irreplaceable allies. Layered watchfulness beautiful. Humans drifting sleep, half-awake adult poking embers thoughtfully. Not fully domesticated dogs shifting, sniffing wind. Together, margin safety world never fully sleeps. Resilient harmony. Gradually conversations thin, voices soften. Fire drops bright flame glowing coals, harsh oranges softening deep reds comforting. Someone adds last log, not cooking, keeping warmth alive morning, thoughtful care. Sparks rise, vanish darkness, briefly imitating stars above. Poetic. People find bedding places, settling ritual. Children wedge adults securely, hearts tucked warm shoulders. Elder pulls hide neck cozily, hands folded cheek peaceful. Hunter sore yet satisfied stretches side-facing fire. One arm draped loosely dog-chosen sleep tonight. Companionship pure. Night sounds settle layers. Nearby crack sigh fire. Soft breathing rhythm. Occasional dream murmur. Further, small animals rustle. Distant nightbird call. Farther, hyena's eerie whoop. Lion deep chesty roar territory. Wild symphony. Distant threats terrifying yet familiar. Woven childhood background. People learn distinguish danger sound. Hunting roar versus frustrated. Curious rustle versus approaching charge. Attuned survival. Under all, sky turns ceaselessly. Stars wheel horizons slowly. Moon climbs, sinks phase. Clouds pass, covering, revealing light. Eternal motion. Some band members sleep quickly, exhaustion winning anxiety. Others linger liminal space, neither fully awake, gone. Thoughts wandering day memories, half-formed fire star images drifting. Replay hunt close call, adrenaline echo. Think lost child last winter, imagining among distant lights comfort. Or listen loved ones breathing, feel moment profound gratitude. Tender. Eventually lost watchers drift inward. Fire slumps shimmering coals bed. Dogs settle heads paws, content guardians. Few hours, tiny human cluster vulnerable ever. Eyes closed, weapons reach. Minds other worlds, exposed. Yet another sense, never safer. Wrapped self-built protection layers. Campsite knowledge-wise, maintained fire steadfast. Beds ground cold bay. Kin circle wake cry. Animal warning growl. chose live alongside reason's mysterious, fortified love. This day, life leads, not mere survival, constant struggle. No, nightly return, shared center, warmth embracing, story connecting, faint persistent feeling. For dangers, this small light circle dark enough until morning again. Hope enduring. So after all, what early humans actually do all day? Worked. Yes, walked miles routes, berries seeking, hauled meat camp triumphantly, shaped stone hands ached, mended diligently, fed children lovingly, watched fire faithfully, eyed teeth, claws, dark edge, vigilant, but not all. Sat, peacefully, stared flames, nothing particular, meditative, watched clouds drift hills, migrating animals horizon lines, nature's ballet, told stories slowly, single tale lasting evenings, immersive. Played. Children wildly, adults too, mock fights laughter, little contests friendly, teasing games, pebbles, sticks, bones, joy unbound. Sang soulfully, traced patterns, cave walls, skin, artistic expression. Rested deeply, life's hard, true, not imagine non-stop scramble dawn dusk. No, pulses intense effort, long low quiet time stretches. Few hours work focused, then simply together, seasons moving, light guiding, balanced rhythm. That balance, part forget often. Here we, with machines grinding, lifting, lights night day, pockets information hunter-gatherer unimaginable, yet many less true leisure, unstructured time scarce, evening sit watch world clock-free rare. Irony, deep, built tools free time, filled noise relentlessly, Paleolithic ancestors never scrolled, no, answered emails, firelight, no, sundown, options few beautiful, talk deeply, listen attentively, make creatively, dream freely, sleep restoratively. Attention belonged people around, flames front, stars overhead, present fully, strip technology. Basic things mattered, then still matter now. Community, circle knowing stories intimately, sharing last dried meat scrap need, standing beside hyenas close, protection love. Today, family, friends, online, shape changed, need unchanged. Nervous systems calibrated, small groups shared task, meal, joke, wired connection. Oh, just feel that spark of pure wonder. Creativity, bursting forth in the earliest days. The very first carved bone pendant dangling proudly, the bold handprint pressed forever on cool stone, the rhythmic tap-tap on a log igniting music's dawn. None directly helped catch more antelope or fill bellies faster. No practical edge. But oh, it made life infinitely richer, transforming bare survival into a vibrant story truly worth telling across generations. That irresistible impulse to craft something utterly unnecessary, yet breathtakingly beautiful. It's still one of the most deeply human things we do today. Don't you feel it stirring in your own heart? Nature. For almost all our long history, we rose and rested with the sun's gentle rhythm. We learned seasons intimately by heart, cycles etched in memory. We read landscapes fluidly as we now scan text. Every hill, river bend, plant shift speaking volumes. Even city dwellers today, a part of your brain quiets magically hearing rain pattering windows, wind whispering trees, waves crashing shore. Those primal sounds older than language itself, older than Homo sapiens, ancestral lullabies calling us home. Timeless connection. Purpose. Early humans lacked 5-year plans or grand strategies, yet woke each dawn with profound reasons pulsing strong. Feed hungry children lovingly, help the group thrive together, keep sacred fire alive one more precious night, meaning woven seamlessly into daily tasks, fulfilling deeply. Our purposes abstract now, perhaps. Careers, goals, ambitions. But underneath echoes same eternal question. Who am I truly doing this for, and why? Searching soul's core. When we gaze back at their days, the long walking under vast skies, quiet watching world's wonders, heartfelt talking binding souls, work broken by bursts laughter and peaceful silence. What emerges isn't lost world forever beyond reach. No, it's a living template. Gentle reminder, good human day holds certain beautiful rhythm, effort flowing into ease, noise giving way quiet, togetherness balanced little solitude, harmony we crave still. The fire in your ancestors' camp has burned down to deep, steady coals, glowing like a faithful heart in the darkness. Most of the group is already asleep, curled snugly under warm furs, breath slow and even in peaceful rhythm. Someone adds one last piece of wood, more out of cherished habit than necessity, thoughtful care lingering. Above them, above you tonight, the same luminous moon drifts gracefully across the endless sky. The same ancient constellations look down tenderly, slightly shifted by time's passage, but still recognizably themselves, eternal guardians. 40,000 years ago, a wide-eyed child blinked up at those very stars, fighting sweet sleep for just one more enchanting story. Someone reached over gently, smoothed their hair with loving hand, whispered softly that the hunt could wait until morning. Rest now, little one. Tonight, across millennia, you share that same profound human need. To stop the day's whirl, to feel truly safe, to let the mind loosen its tight grip and drift free. The hunt can wait until morning. The world, busy, demanding, can wait until morning. For now, oh, for this sacred now, you can rest deeply under the same ancient starlit sky, connected forever.